with 96.5 The Fan.
Right side throw, touchdown! Kansas City, a 3-yard touchdown pass in overtime. Kansas City wins the game.
Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
Back-to-back best sports talk hosts as voted on in the Pitch magazine.
Live from the Fan Studios. Here's CDOT.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. Yes, we will address the midday show coming up here in just a bit because there has been a plan to try to deceive you that I will uncover all of that coming up in just a bit. Yes, I will tell you the story about what happened yesterday at the Royals game, both on and off the field. We got a lot to get into. The Chiefs, they play their first game coming up in 2 days. The start of the NFL is tomorrow between the Cowboys and the Eagles. I am here. Rob is here. We are taking you up until 5:30 when we hand things back off to the Kansas City Royals as they look to get back in the win column against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. I need you to do me a couple of favors before I tell you guys some stories. I need you guys to be listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan and 96.5thefan.com. I also need you to tell one friend to check out the show. I mean, it'd be great if you could tell 2 friends to check out the show. But you know what? If you could just tell one person to check out the show, you know what? I would greatly appreciate it. And I always need you to remember that the open of the show is brought to you by our dear friends over at The Other Place, a place that would never leave you hanging. So if you're looking for some great eats, some cold drinks, and you want to watch some football this weekend, be sure to include The Other Place. Let's start with the on the field with the Kansas City Royals. That's important, right? That's what really matters. Every day, the Royals are essentially trying to hit a 2-leg parlay. Every day, they either need to win or they need the Mariners and the Rangers to lose. It's a real fine tightrope. Some of you are thinking that the Royals didn't lose ground yesterday, and technically, you are right. The Royals are no further back today than they were at the beginning of the action yesterday. But it is important to note when you are the trailing team and we are basically in the fourth quarter of the baseball season. In a football analogy, it's not just the score that matters, it's also the time that matters. The Royals lost a day in a game in which you are playing a clear inferior team at the crib. You have a lead heading into the 5th inning. You got to figure out a way to scratch across a couple of runs, and you got to figure out a way to win that game. For you to score 1 run on 4 hits against the Los Angeles Angels is disappointing, especially when one of your competitors, one of the teams that you are chasing, falls yesterday in the standings. Their margin for error is nothing. The Royals essentially have to hit 2-leg parlay after parlay, day after day after day, if they want to do this thing. Now, I have told you guys from the very, very beginning, all I want for the Royals to do is I want the Royals to just keep things close and keep things competitive for the next 2 weeks when they play the Seattle Mariners. Man, it certainly would be great to be a half game back when Seattle comes to town as opposed to 2.5 games back or 3 games back. Obviously, let's see how the next couple of weeks play themselves out, but every loss to a team like the Los Angeles Angels is a missed opportunity. That is not a good baseball team. That is not a team that is going anywhere. Their only purpose in life is to play spoiler. Do not let them spoil your chances. The Mariners look like they're leaving the door open a little bit. The Rangers seem obliged to try to walk through that opening and look ready to try to make the postseason. Let's see if the Royals are up to task. We have talked about this homestand. The Royals got 5 games left. You got to go at least 4-1 in these next 5 games. There is no more margin. There is no more room for error. There's just not enough time left for that. It is no longer a marathon. It is no longer early. We're even past the midway point. The movie's about to be over. We're past Labor Day. We have 3.5 weeks left in the baseball season. There is no more room for error. There is no more room for losing at home to teams like the Los Angeles Angels, who have really no hope for the future. That's the on-the-field perspective of things. I can't believe that you guys have allowed somebody who came on this radio station the last time that these two teams played in basketball and tried to downplay this rivalry.
But if Missouri was 10th in the country or something, then there would be buzz. They're not. They haven't held up their end of the bargain since the series renewed, and I'm so glad it did. And this one's in Columbia, and I have no doubt it's going to be a great atmosphere, at least to start. We'll see what happens in the second half, because Missouri's been competitive for about 10 minutes.
I mean, this rivalry has already embarrassed Alex Gold one time. He is the same person who said this.
Then you add in the fact, this is not even hating, but like it's the reality that MU hasn't been competitive since they started playing in these games. They just haven't. And so maybe that changes in Columbia on Sunday. I don't think it's going to. This game doesn't have much buzz around it, guys. It just doesn't. Part of it is a lot of people aren't in college basketball mode.
I mean, you heard Cody in the back. Yeah. Tweedledee and Tweedledum chiming in the background. Thing one and thing two. I can't believe that you guys have been hoodwinked, deceived by somebody who doesn't even consider these to be big games.
I don't feel like this is that big of a game, actually.
And this is the person you're listening to? This is with whom you placed your fate? Believe it if you want to. We've got the proof. We've got the documents. Rob, you got 2 tickets, do you not? Where are they located at?
I am up in the 300 level behind the visitor bench on Saturday to watch KU and Missouri.
I got the same ones here on my phone with the parking pass. I offered them to Alex Gold. I offered them to him earlier today. Hey, would you like to go to the game? No, man, I got things to do, man. You know, I'm like, all right, man, hey, I don't know what to tell you. You sure you don't want to go to the game? I mean, you are a sports talk host. It's kind of important to go to the games. No, man, you know, I got stuff to do. It's early, man. I don't want to make the drive. Excuses. That's all you've gotten from 10 to 2 is lies and excuses. And you buy this, caught up in the hype. Now, let me tell you the other story. This pains me to talk about this in person because I was betrayed by a close friend. Let me tell you the truth of what happened yesterday at the Royals game. I planned on a quiet night at home, finishing up our documentary, Armageddon, at Arrowhead. You can see it September 24th at Screenland Armor. My editor had some things come up we weren't going to be able to edit. He's like, you know what, man, why don't we catch up the next day? It's like, all right, man, you know what, no problem. I'm sitting there now, lonely, bored, nothing to do. I planned on just trying to read more about the Chiefs' upcoming season so I could try to provide the best content that I can for you guys. All of a sudden, I get a text from a friend. She had gotten tickets from her job and wanted somebody to go to the game with her. Her family couldn't go to the game, and she turned to me because I'm like family. Like, you know what? Me being the great friend that I am, the great person, the humanitarian that I am, I decided to go to the game. I wanted to prep for the show, but that was taken away from me. That wasn't the only thing that was taken away from me. So I agreed to go to the game. We're riding there, having a great time, sharing friendship, stories. I stopped and got me some sunflower seeds from the local gas station. I was prepared for a great night at Kauffman Stadium. Little did I know that disaster was right around the corner. So we're sitting there, we're watching the game. All of a sudden, you know, the Royals are up. Jubilation is inside Kauffman Stadium. Next thing I know, the next 30 seconds would change the course of my life. The commercial break happens. The inning is over. I'm on my phone, just starting to do some of the prep for the show because I'm always thinking ahead. I'm focused on you guys at all time. Next thing I know, the people around me say, oh, look, you're on the Kiss Cam. I look up and I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. I then look to my left, to my dear friend, my compadre, and I'm thinking, we're on the Kiss Cam. There's only one thing to do. I reach in. Next thing I know, and I'll never forget these words, they'll scar me for life. She said, you don't belong to me. And I'm sitting there dazed and confused that I would be betrayed by somebody I considered to be a dear friend. And the fact that Alex Gold would try to use my moment of disappointment and heartbreak and try to lump that in to the ass whooping that his team is going to get here coming up in a couple of days is really a reflection of his character and the kind of man that he is. He's a scared Jayhawk is what he is. He's shown you his character time and time again. I'm disgusted at the content that I heard earlier today. But you know what? This show will survive because that's what we do. We overcome. We focus on ourselves and we push forward. Rob, we will never speak of this again. There's no reason to speak of this again. I look around the office here and all I see is pictures of my disappointment and my heartbreak again, letting you know the character of the two men in the midday show. It's embarrassing. It's sad. I'm offended. Let's get back to sports. It's The Drive.
This is Wyatt Thompson from K-State, and you're listening to The Drive with CDOT right here on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri, get ready! The wait is almost over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State, and you can sign up today. New Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets when we launch on December 1st. Download now and place a $5 bet when we go live. DraftKings Sportsbook brings everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code 965 to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. That's promo code 965 in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Fall's the best time of year to clean up the outside of your home or business, and the best way to do that is with a fresh coat of paint from my friends at CertaPro Painters. You want your home or business to make a great impression, and that starts with the exterior. And when you choose CertaPro Painters, you're choosing the best in the business for your job. CertaPro Painters go the extra mile. If there's a way to save you money, they'll let you know, and they take care of every detail from start to cleanup. So do what we did and schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Hey, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. I'm letting you know that FanDuel is coming to Missouri. That's right. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app, is heading to Missouri. The wait will soon be over. On December 1st, you'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. With FanDuel, there's tons of ways for you to get in on the action. You can bet on everything from the money line, over-unders, to which team you think is going to cut down the nets or win the championship. Build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style is, FanDuel has you covered. Plus, with live betting, you can even bet on who you think will score the next touchdown in the game that you're watching and the one after that. So mark your calendars. FanDuel is coming to the good side, Missouri, on December 1st. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook app. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel is an official partner of 96.5 The Fan. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
It's O-Rewards Member Appreciation Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Up to $100 in bonus rewards available at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
It's O Rewards Member Appreciation Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Up to $100 in bonus rewards available at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
College holds a mythic place in American culture, but there are stories you won't hear on the campus tours.
The higher-ups are concerned about one thing, and that is avoiding scandal.
I'm Margot Gray. On the new podcast, Campus Files, we cover everything from rigged admissions to the drama of Greek life and student protests. Listen to and follow Campus Files, an Odyssey original podcast. Available now on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Rally House, shop every team in town. College and pro, come on, it's time to go.
The season starts at Rally House. From jerseys and hats to tumblers for game day, it's where outrageous selection meets every fan's style.
Kansas, Missouri, Kansas State, Chiefs and Royals make KC great.
Rally House, it's your city, it's your house, it's the Rally House.
Level up your fandom in-store or online at rallyhouse.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Rob, what's going on?
What? Just playing bump music like I do every day. Just minding my business.
Is that the kind of energy that you have today? Because right now, I'm trying to wonder whose side are you on. I understand that this week it's MU versus KU. I get it. You're an alum. Alex is an alum. I understand it. But now you're going to try to kick my back in too? You don't know what it's like to be at Kauffman Stadium and to feel like the only friend you have is Norma. Shout out to Norma. She's just an amazing woman. That's the only friend that I have. But I think that this is a safe place. This is supposed to be home for me. It's our show. And now you're poking fun too?
Listen, 51 weeks a year, I'm on your side. It's Mizzou Hate Week. I can't be on your side today. I just can't. I can't do it. You know what? If this happened next week or last week, I'm with you. Team anti-Alex Gold. But you know what? I think Gold makes a lot of good points. A lot of valid arguments come from that midday show. You know, there's a lot of people in the building that wear crimson and blue, and I think they're the best people in the building. That's just how I feel about it.
Okay. I understand that you got to do what you got to do. But I want to let you know, I will not forget this.
You should be happy you're not Intercom anymore. I'd walk around and tape up all the M's in the building.
Okay. I see how you're going to play it. I see how you're going to handle things these next couple of days. Just, it will be noted and it will be documented. That's all I want to say.
By the way, who's going to be on the show today at 3?
Lance Leipold will be on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up in 40 minutes. Looking forward to catching up with the head coach of the Kansas Jayhawks. Look forward to getting his thoughts on the rivalry between these two schools. Can we talk about this for just a little bit? I promise you we'll get to the Chiefs. I know they play here coming up in a couple of days. Jalen Royals is going to be out. The Chiefs have really unprecedented continuity. We'll get to that coming up in a bit. But can I just give you guys my thoughts on this and then we can move on? Now, this is going to sound kind of hypocritical because I'm someone that loves to complain. In fact, I get paid to complain. I am a professional complainer. That's what the C in CDOT stands for. You think that it stands for Carrington? No, it stands for complain. Boy, do I love it. I wake up thinking of things to complain about. But sometimes, can we just come to the conclusion of, let's see how it plays itself out? I love RedZone. I don't really have much interest in watching football games at noon if they are not centered around RedZone. You are not going to catch me watching Ravens and Dolphins at 12 o'clock. I'll watch it inside the package that RedZone has put together, but me just watching that game or whatever game they give you on Fox or CBS, I'm not super interested in it. I'll watch the 325 game, obviously Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night football, the international games. That's a different beast. But from 12 to 3:30 in Casa de Carrington, we watching RedZone, and it is known by everybody. That is what we are doing. So earlier today, Scott Hansen was on the Pat McAfee show, and he said that some changes are coming to the channel.
Business folks handle the business.
Of course.
And I have no say over different elements that could or could not be in the show.
Okay.
And so I'll just tell you right now, when you see me come on the air here, we're going to hit the Octo Box. We've got 8 games in the early window, taking you around all the different cities. And then when we get into it, ladies and gentlemen, it's been more than 250 days since the first full NFL Sunday, but we are back. And 7 hours of RedZone football starts now.
Wow. Well said.
I realize that might be a slight change to some of you, but that's what the catchphrase will be going forward.
We all understand what the NFL is, okay? We all understand what the NFL is. As soon as we heard it's in 50 million homes and everybody's watching it, we knew immediately that there was going to be commercials dropped in there.
Someone just texted in, C-Dot, are you going to join the boycott movement? There are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, people who are already committed. Can we slow down just a bit? We watch football with commercials all the time. Quite literally, all the time. Every college football game that you have ever watched has commercials. You watch and consume the commercials. The last Chiefs game that you watched, not counting the preseason game, but the last game that you watched is centered around you sitting there and watching the commercials. The commercials, they don't bother me. They really don't. They really don't bother me. I don't have much of an issue with commercials. I have just accepted them as part of life. I want to see how RedZone implements the commercials. Are they going to put the RedZone commercials smack dab at 2:45 right when things are getting good? Is it going to be a 2-minute drive, and when a team goes to the 2-minute warning, they're trying to sneak in a 30-second commercial and really mess up the vibe? Okay, if that's what they're planning on doing, I will stand right there with you, and I promise you on Monday I will complain with you. We can hold hands, join together, band together. I can't wait to complain with you if that's what they do. But I watch enough RedZone to know that there's lulls in the action. There's lulls in the action. Especially in that 325 window. There's a lot of lulls where they keep telling you who scored a touchdown earlier in the day, or you see highlight packages of things that have already happened. I'm not that upset about it. I'm really not that upset about it. I just want to simply see how they implement the commercials. Are these 30-second commercials? Are they 1-second commercials? How are they implementing them in the flow of it? I think the NFL knows what we like and dislike about RedZone, so I'm going to trust them a little bit here. If there's one thing that I think we have to give the NFL credit for is they have mastered television. They have figured out how to package you a TV show. Whether it's Thursday Night Football, whether it's on Netflix, whether it's RedZone, they have cracked the formula of packaging television. So let's just see how they do it. That's all. That's my only stance. I'm with you. I mean, no one loves commercials. I'm not excited when they go to a commercial. Like, oh, great. I can't wait to see this Meghan Trainor and Patrick Mahomes commercial for the 7th time. No one likes commercials. We watch them enough. I'm willing to give it a chance. Coming up in a couple of days, the Chiefs are not playing on Sunday. I imagine many of you are going to be in the same boat that I'm in, locked into RedZone at 12 o'clock. I already got my food plan ready. We already got the group chat. Hey, you're bringing this. I'm fired up for RedZone. Let's just see how the commercials work. That's it. Can you guys keep an open mind about how they can do this? And then let's come back on Monday. We'll talk a little Chiefs Chargers. We'll talk some of this, and then we'll figure it out. Someone on the text line says, are you a Sunday ticket man? No, I am a Stream East man. I am a Mark My Sports man. So no, I do not have Sunday ticket. I'm getting a little bit of RedZone. I'm pulling up on the stream the game that I need to watch. I got a nice little setup here. It's been working great for me for quite some time. I think it's going to continue to work heading into this season. All right, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs because I have a stat for you guys. One reason I am so optimistic about the Chiefs in this early portion of the season that I think if we really sat here and we compared the Chiefs' first 4 games to other teams in the NFL first 4 games, this is probably the most difficult stretch that any team has. I know we all kind of poke fun at the Chargers, but that's a double-digit win team that made the playoffs last year. Philadelphia is the defending Super Bowl champion. The Giants have one of the best defensive lines in the NFL, and Baltimore is one of the 5 best teams in the league. Like, this is not an easy start to the season, but I think you should feel very optimistic about the Chiefs. They're not really breaking in a whole lot of new pieces. Rob and I looked this up because I was curious. I said, Rob, can you pull up the week 1 depth chart from last year and pull up the week 1 depth chart from this year? And let's just compare and contrast. Who's back, who's not, who's now starting, let's compare these two things. From last year's 22 players, these are the changes. Obviously, Joe Thuney, he was a starter last year. He now plays for the Chicago Bears. Carson Steele was a week 1 starter for them. Granted at fullback, but he was a starter for them early on in the season. Kareem Hunt wasn't on the team, and people liked Carson Steele at this time last year. Shamari Connor was starting for this team last year, and Tershawn Wharton was starting. Now, you had Rashee Rice. He's still on the team. He's not going to be available or active for this one. But for the most part, man, this is the same team as last year. I mean, I can do the math. That's 18 of their 22 starters. And if you want to put the asterisk by Rashee Rice, who is still on the team but injured, you're in a really good spot. And for most of these players, you feel like you've swapped them out for somebody who's, for the most part, comparable. Now, you don't have a Joe Thuney replacement, but you also feel better at left tackle today than you felt a year ago at this time. No one is worried about Carson Steele not starting for the Chiefs this year, even though he was a starter last year. Shamari Connor, they certainly are deep at that position. You're fine. And then Tershawn Wharton. You had Tershawn Wharton. You also didn't have Charles Omenihu as a starter last year. You also have spent a couple of draft picks to get a little deeper at that position or on the defensive line, whether it's with Gelati or Norman Lott. So I'm not going to make it seem like Wharton's not a miss in that not a player that contributed last year. You certainly did. But you feel good about their defensive line heading into this matchup. Shamari Connor, you're fine at safety. Carson Steele, you're not worried about that, at least at that position. You like Brashard Smith. You have Kareem Hunt now. We'll see what contribution you can get from Elijah Mitchell. And the Joe Thuney thing was just always going to be a question mark because we're talking about a guy that's a Chiefs Hall of Famer, a potential NFL Hall of Famer that now you have to replace. But for the most part, this is the same team as last year. So really important to get off to a good start, not be playing from behind, not be behind the 8 ball. When you look at the schedule that they start off with, man, for a lot of teams in the league, this is a 1-3, 2-2 start. You feel really good about the Chiefs getting off to a good start and playing well in September, obviously because of coach and quarterback and that level of continuity. But you also got to feel good because this is a team that has played together for the last year, year and a half, longer for some of their key players. This is also a team that has won and played in a lot of close games. So I think you got to feel really good about them in these first 6 games without Rashee Rice. And I would say a pretty difficult start to their season, Rob.
I feel like all the time in the NFL, and I'm a part of this too, we hear about how, you know, it's very difficult to create a dynasty because you lose so many pieces. We've watched the Cowboys documentary. We know about the Patriots. Eventually, free agency, all these things happen and you just lose pieces. That's why these things eventually fall apart. If we were to pull the Patriots roster on their first Super Bowl versus their final Super Bowl, it's, oh my goodness, can you believe how different it is? Those are the things that happen. It is a little bit unprecedented what the Chiefs are doing with their continuity. This is not, hey, 1 or 2 guys who are in the pipeline came up. This is 18 of 22. This is and you could argue one of the guys that they got rid of was their own choice. They traded Joe Thuney. That wasn't, hey, he walked in free agency and he got a mega deal somewhere. He did get a mega deal, but the Chiefs made that decision. It's unprecedented what Brett Veach and co have been able to do, because the conventional wisdom is eventually these things fall apart because you can't keep it together forever. And yet, I bet if we looked up the 2023 first week roster, it would still be 12, 13, 14 plus of the same. They don't have a core. They don't have a group. They have a starting unit. This is like, I know it's cross-sport comparing, but for a while there, the Warriors are the same starting five year in and year out. That's basically what the Chiefs are doing in a sport where it's not supposed to happen that way.
That's a really good point. And I mean, a lot of it is just, to me, the foundational pieces. Like if you were talking about the pillars that the Chiefs have, man, all their pillars are healthy, active, and available for this game. Creed Humphrey has been a pillar. Trey Smith has been a pillar. Obviously a quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, Trent McDuffie, Nick Bolton is healthy and available for this game. Like if I asked you right now to make a list of who you think are the 10 best players for the Kansas City Chiefs, man, 8 of those guys have played in and won Super Bowls, multiple Super Bowls. They've been here for a while. This is a team where you retain 80, 85% of your starters, and anybody that wasn't around, they can quickly fall in line. So when you go to a guy like Christian Fulton, who obviously we expect to play and be a major contributor for this team, hey, man, this is how we do things here. I know you're a little bit new, but we have a standard here. We're going to hold you to that standard, and we want you to come help us continue to win championships and continue to play at a high level. This isn't a team that has a whole lot of turnover for this season. So I think that's something that you got to feel really, really optimistic about heading into this. I don't want to sell this like it's not a difficult stretch. I also don't want to take for granted how the Chiefs have been able to navigate this thing. I mean, we're talking about you playing 3, 10, or 11 win teams in the first month of the season. And the overwhelming sentiment is that Kansas City is going to get off to a good start because they always get off to a good start. You got this game coming up against the Chargers, a game that obviously first game of the season, so you got a lot of time to prepare for them. Fast forward to the Philadelphia Eagles, so you get extra time to prepare for that, extra time to rest up. It's your home opener, a team that you obviously know very well in Philadelphia, a team that we'll see how you match up with coming up this upcoming season. And then you got a Baltimore team at the end of the month at home, a team that you obviously have seen a bunch, but is a very talented, very good team, more than capable of beating you in the regular season. I really think that continuity for them is going to be a plus heading into this year.
I think it will be a plus early in the season. I agree with you 100%. I think it'll be the $1 million, $1 billion, pick a number dollar question throughout the season, because what we're describing is the glass half full approach to continuity is king. And I actually agree with you. But there's a yin and a yang to this. By being basically the same roster, you could argue that they are not better. And in the NFL, if you're not better, people are passing you. That is the other side of that coin. I don't know the Bills got better. I think the Ravens did get better. I think the Broncos got better. But the glass half full, the one side of the coin is continuity is king early in the season. They got the same 18. Let's go get it. My group versus your group in a sport we're not supposed to have it. That's how me and you feel. But I kind of understand the other side of the coin too. The Colin Cowherd side, I guess Craig Cart, whatever side is anti-Chiefs will tell you, if you're the same, you're not better. And when you're not getting better in the league, eventually people pass you. And some of their competitors in the AFC did get better. The question will be, did their better get good enough to pass the Chiefs? That is the overarching question in this season. I'm not worried about the 10th straight AFC West or anything like that. The biggest question is, did the Chiefs staying the same maintain their dominance, or did someone catch them because all they did this offseason was maintain?
Can we take a quick look back to last year in the NFL draft? And I'm kind of curious how you guys feel about this now that we are a year removed. So just last season, Marvin Harrison Jr. was the 4th overall pick in the draft. You remember, there was a time that people were talking about trading L'Jarius Sneed and the Chiefs #1 and thinking that could go get you Marvin Harrison Jr. I would say that he had a disappointing rookie year, certainly based off the expectations that people had on him. Malik Neighbors, who was phenomenal last season. He had 89 catches for 1,600 yards. He was phenomenal. last season. He was really, really good. Romo Dunze was a first-round pick. Brian Thomas Jr. was also a first-round pick. You also had Xavier Worthy and Ricky Pearsall, also Xavier Leggett. So there were a lot of wide receivers that were drafted in round 1 last year. How would you do a redraft of those wide receivers now after we've seen their first year of action? And I think you can even throw Ladd McConkey now in the mix. I know he wasn't drafted in round 1, but we're talking about a guy who was the 34th overall pick. I think that Ladd McConkey goes in the first round if you are now doing a redraft. How do you think you redraft this? Where do you think Xavier Worthy goes now that we've seen all these wide receivers play for one season?
I still think Harrison goes early. I know his numbers were not up to par or what people were talking about last year for Marvin Harrison.
I would be very curious.
He would go after Neighbors, but I still think he goes ahead of Xavier Worthy.
Neighbors is definitely going ahead of Marvin Harrison Jr. If you could redo this. Are we sure that Marvin Harrison goes ahead of Brian Thomas Jr.?
No.
I'm saying if they do it right now, like if you could go back in time and if you tell Arizona you can take Brian Thomas Jr. and Marvin Harrison, are we sure that the Cardinals take Marvin Harrison over Brian Thomas Jr.? Because I'm not sure if that's the case.
I think they would take Brian Thomas, but I think Harrison still slides in at 3. That's right. I think that's because I know Harrison's numbers underwhelmed, but I still think the hype around Harrison was a little high, but it wasn't like he was unproductive in year 1. Marvin Harrison had a good season, but I do think it goes the LSU guys. Neighbors and Thomas go 1-2. For me, the real question is McConkey versus Worthy. Because Worthy had a good rookie season. It was good. No one is going to argue the opposite side of that. I feel like McConkey had a better year, but I feel like Worthy has a higher ceiling still if we're doing a redraft, which is how drafts work. There's so much about potential and what you can be versus what you are. But I think it would probably go Neighbors, Thomas, Harrison, and now McConkey and Worthy becomes the real conversation point.
It's kind of interesting because I would say you obviously couldn't have done wrong with either player. Like if the Chiefs had Ladd McConkey, you'd be thrilled about who he is as a player. I also think the Chargers would be very thrilled if they had drafted Xavier Worthy with the 34th overall pick. I don't really know if you could go wrong. I probably think Ladd's a little bit better of a wide receiver, a little bit more dependable. I really like his skill set, but Xavier Worthy is a fine player. You're happy to take him with where you selected him. I will say this, I think very unique about both of these teams that are going up against each other. I don't think the other side has that other prospect. Like the Chargers do not have a wide receiver like Xavier Worthy, a guy that you think is a burner, a guy that you think can stretch the field, a guy that you think like they do not have that player on their team. I also don't think the Chiefs have a Ladd McConkey type. Like they don't have that, to me, wizard in the slot that you think this season could have 1,100 yards and have number 1 numbers. Maybe you don't look at Ladd McConkey as being a true number 1, but I could definitely see him taking the next step where this year we're looking at him as being an 80 catch, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdown kind of player. I think he showed you that ability last season, but sometimes like both teams in the draft can get exactly what they want. You know, we do this a lot. Man, you know, they could have had this player, or what if they had drafted this player? I don't think you have to do that with Xavier Worthy. It was obvious that the Chiefs felt like they needed a wide receiver. Ladd McConkey was definitely one of those players that we talked about, guys that we discussed. He was on the board when the Chiefs selected Xavier Worthy. They took Worthy. I think they ended up making the right pick. I also think that the Chargers ended up making the right pick, and they had one of the better young receivers last year in the National Football League. Sandwiched in between that is Keon Coleman for Buffalo. He did not have the season that I expected him to have last year. I thought he could be like a Plaxico Burress type. Certainly has the build and the athleticism for it. We'll see if he takes the next step in the second year of his career. Coming up on the other side, we got a little bit of a people's court question to ask you guys about some of your tendencies while watching the game. I'll explain. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Summer is here, and that means longer days and warm nights, rooftop dinners, spontaneous getaways, vacation season, and romance is in the air. But if you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, all that excitement, it can feel like pressure and like you're missing out on something. Well, look, you're not alone. And more importantly, there's help that's out there, especially with my friends over at Heartland Men's Health. They specialize in ED treatments that work even when the pills and the herbals don't, with a success rate of over 90%. Some guys even last an hour or more. Summer should feel unforgettable, romantic, confident, not stressful. If your sex life is just good enough, then why should you settle? Your first visit is just $99, including a full medical consult, testosterone, and a PSA test. And if medically advised, a test dose. And if it doesn't work right there in the office, then your visit is on the house. Visit the website, heartlandmenshealth.com. With offices in Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City, you can get back in action as soon as tomorrow. Don't let ED steal your summer away. Reclaim it, and you can do that with Heartland Men's Health.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
After 40 years and more than 8,000 five-star reviews, Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter is your go-to company for home service needs. Call Hamilton today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain scent boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6812. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6812. That's 800-575-6812.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This afternoon, mix of sun and clouds, a chance of showers and thunderstorms. High 84.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
CDOT considers himself a man of the people. And now he's asking for your help. Please help the drive in the latest installment of The People's Court.
Now, I didn't know that this was a thing. Rob has informed me that this is, in fact, a thing. So I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw a news story. And I try to bring those news stories to you guys so we can discuss them. I mean, we've discussed some doozies on this show. You guys remember the man who was in a relationship with ChatGPT? Remember the story about the roller coaster in Idaho? Those stories. Found on TikTok. That should be a new bit that we do. Well, this is the latest one that I found. People are putting ice in their beer.
Right, so there's this new thing blowing up on TikTok, and it's probably going to offend some of you. The trend is putting ice in your beer. I know this sounds a little strange, but the comments, they're kind of all over the place. So some people calling it a total game changer for a hot day or helping you to stay hydrated, while others calling it an absolute travesty since they're basically watering down the flavor. You guys, what do you think light beer tastes like? But what do you think? Is it genius or is this a crime against beer?
Now, I come to you guys asking a question, 913-586-7965. I don't really understand this trend. This isn't something that I would participate in. Why are you putting ice in the beer? Why am I drinking a beer that isn't already cold enough? Doesn't make sense to me. Like if I'm out somewhere, it's already cold. It's in the bottle. It's in the can. It's on tap. It's on draft. Why do I need to put ice in it? You were telling me that on a hot summer day, some of you out there listening to the show right now would be out on the patio, just hanging out, right? And you would tell your lovely wife, hey, can you bring me a beer? And she went into the cup cabinet, got you a cup, went into the refrigerator, did the little ice thing, and then she poured you a beer? You participate in this activity? I got to know. Text line 913-586-7965. Is this something that you participate in? Are you a ice in your beer individual? Because this is not something that I would partake in myself. Rob, where do you weigh in on this? Is this fair or foul?
This is beyond foul. This is a travesty, if we're being honest. This is words I can't say on the radio level of anger. That news report said that people are doing it because it helps you hydrate. Drink a water. Have a beer, drink a water, go back to beer. There is absolutely no reason to be putting a crisp, refreshing beer. I don't even care the style. I like IPAs, you don't. I don't care what kind of beer you are drinking. It is absolutely a crime against humanity to pour that over a glass of ice. And I'm not anti-ice. You have a Sprite, perfect. You have a cocktail. I have no problem with that. You're telling me, you go to the bar and you're like, man, you know what I really want? Boulevard Wheat. Put it on the rocks. You're a sicko.
Yeah, and some of the drinks, like you're putting that with your Busch Light, your Coors Light, you're putting ice in it. It's already a little bit watered down. You're going to water it down a little bit more? I don't understand this. Text line 913-586-7965. I want to know where you guys stand on this. Are you thumbs up or thumbs down ice in beer? Fox News in Houston is telling me this is a trend, that people are now coming around to it. Now, somebody said we did this when we were in the military because we kind of had to. Hey, we wanted something cold, we're out. That makes sense to me. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and we appreciate your service. Hey, I was overseas. We had to do this to keep it cold. Okay, I'm not mad at that. But you're back here in America now. You're telling me when you go to the other place, you're telling them you want a Boulevard Wheat on the rocks? That's a little odd to me. It's a little bit off. Again, that's not a trend that I would participate in. Not at all.
I mean this seriously. If I was with friends and they're like, hey, I'll do a Busch Light. Put it on ice, please. I'm not staying at this establishment with you anymore. I'm going home. I'm not partaking in this activity. I don't want to be associated with you. I don't want to be guilty by association of this weirdo behavior. You know who would have really strong opinions on this? I bet someone listening, Bink, has punched a hole in a wall at the idea of someone pouring beer over ice.
I do want to get your opinion on this because I've seen some people say this before. This Missouri KU game, it doesn't have the buzz. It's never going to be how it was when we were kids. Yes, it was the rivalry, and the rivalry mattered, but it also had something for its standing purposes. You think back to that last year where Missouri was in the Big 12. It wasn't just the fact that the rivalry was ending. It also was the added in of you need to win these games to win the Big 12. So it is impossible for the rivalry to be how it was. Rob, one thing that I've learned over the process of doing a documentary about this rivalry and hearing people's stories and watching old footage and doing all of this stuff is, and I kind of think this is like I don't know if it's a get off my lawn take. We got to allow this new generation to have their own memories with this rivalry the way that you and I have. They have to have their Christian Moody game. You remember that game? Man, going to school that next day after Christian Moody missed those free throws. Rob, you probably hate Thomas Gardner, for example, because he dropped 40 on your team. We got to allow these kids in this new generation, we got to allow them to have their own heroes of this rivalry and their own stories. Like last year when Missouri beats them in basketball and the fans get to run on the court. Like, you got to allow this new group of 10, 11-year-olds, college students, they got to have their own rivalry. And if there's one thing I have learned in this, and I remember this back whenever Missouri and Kansas decided to play in that hurricane relief effort. I don't remember what hurricane it was, but you know the game that I'm talking about. You remember leading into it, no one really knew what to expect, right? Like, everybody was kind of like, man, is it going to be the same? If you've got an opportunity to go to the basketball versions of this over the last couple of years, I'm here telling you it ain't much different. Because once you walk in there and you see your team playing against that team, you really want your team to beat them. I've been to a lot of Missouri sporting events. I've been to a lot of KU sporting events. It's different when they play each other. Missouri has this tradition. They play Mr. Brightside at the beginning of the fourth quarter. And as the chorus is about to go, they say blank KU. That's like the big reveal at the end of it. To see the students do that while they're playing Kansas and beating Kansas, really cool. To see all the students run on the floor and then they play the song again and then they put Beat KU on the Jumbotron as the students are run on the floor is really, really cool. This is where I think some of us old guys, and yes, I'll put myself in this old guy category, these kids got to have their own memories with this rivalry. It's not going to be how it was in 1994. Roy Williams is not coming back. Norm Stewart is not coming back. That's our moments. And hopefully we do a good enough job with this thing that we pass it down where, Rob, one day you will have a son and you know one of the things you will teach him is we don't cheer for them. I went to KU, your mom went to KU, guess where you're going? That's what makes this rivalry so cool where we live. So I don't want to hear either side trying to downplay this thing over the next couple of days. I go to a lot of Missouri sporting events. Right now, the get-in is over $200. It ain't like that, even for them in the SEC. They play Alabama coming up in a couple of weeks. It ain't going to be $200 to get in and watch them play Alabama. They play South Carolina in 2 weeks. It will not be this is to sit up in the nosebleeds. It's over $200 to watch Missouri play Kansas in a football game. You can't tell me this rivalry doesn't matter to people. I don't want to hear about it. It's not like how it used to be. Nothing is how it used to be in 1997. That's not the way things work in 2025. Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to be joined by Lance Leipold. He is the head coach at the University of Kansas. They play Missouri this week. Keep it right here, so drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Tune in Mondays at 4 to hear the play-by-play voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holtis, on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
The wait is finally over. Football season is here, and FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer that you don't want to miss. New customers, you can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, any bet. Bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. Use it how you want. Build your favorite parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style is. Remember, FanDuel has you covered. Be sure to check out FanDuel.com/KFNZ. Use that promo code to download the FanDuel app today and get started. FanDuel is an official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after free. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Can help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
At KCUC, you see the best in KC. With more than 50 expert providers and 20 convenient locations, you get the care you need quickly and close to home. From advanced diagnostics to the latest treatments, KCUC offers cutting-edge technology that sets us apart. It's no wonder we're the region's premier urology and oncology center. You deserve the best. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Hey, almost Andy Reid here. It's been an honor to give back to the community that's embraced me being almost your head coach. Thanks for letting me be part of your team. Renner Garage Door is a teammate of mine that also values the community that they served for decades, always giving back and delivering wins with top brands like Geldon, Amar, and Liftmaster. Need a repair or replacement? Get a free estimate today. Forward and back.
RENNER,
What we've been doing is pulling one of the people that sells the car every month and giving them a prize.
Give Me the VIN is giving away $25,000 in cash every month.
David Ling sold your car last
I sold a 2020 RX 350.
Yeah. Open that check up and tell me what it says.
$25,000.
$25,000. Give me that. David Ling of Claremont, California is the latest winner in GiveMeTheVin.com's big cash giveaway.
$25,000. What am I getting for being here?
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com. Sell us your car.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we're improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000, or go to RexBuysKC.com. That's RexBuysKC.com. And I look forward to working with you.
At Lowe's, save on job site supplies with MyLowe's Pro Rewards. Eligible members enjoy volume discounts on qualifying orders through a quote of $2,000 or more. Offer can't be combined with any other discount, contract, and/or special pricing. Exclusions, more terms, and restrictions apply. Details at Lowe's.com/terms, subject to change.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Sports brought to you by the Salvation Army and registertoring.com.
Make it a tradition. Grab your friends or family and ring bells together for the Salvation Army. Just 2 hours can change lives this holiday season. Sign up today at registertoring.com. That's registertoring.com.
Hey, it's Trent McDuffie. The Chiefs Radio Network pregame show starts 3 hours before kickoff right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Welcome back into The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. We get you ready for Saturday. This is the first time that Missouri and Kansas have played a football game in 14 years. We catch up with the head coach of the Kansas Jayhawks, Lance Leipold, as they're 2-0 so far on this season. Coach, happy to have you join us today.
Oh, thanks for the opportunity. Great to be with you.
I got a chance to go to you guys' first game against Fresno State. And just the energy, the atmosphere. I don't know if I've ever felt the energy at a KU football game like that. What was it like to be in the middle of it for people to get a chance to see the brand new stadium?
It was great. You know, there's obviously a lot of build up to this, a lot of time and energy, and really a short period of time, about 18 months for us to pull this project off in the first phase and to try to, get back playing in Lawrence as quickly as possible. It has turned out to be even more than what we thought as far as the amenities of it, the premium seating area, the atmosphere, and the future of what this can be. Our operations center, our daily areas that we use as a football team have been increased and upgraded, and our players have taken advantage of that. So a lot of hype, like you said. It had a really good feel about it, and it was great to see, and it's something that we need to maintain here throughout the season and the future.
It's a word that I never thought I would use for a college football stadium. It felt intimate in a way. It felt perfect for the kind of program it was. Every seat was great. The energy, the atmosphere was there. It felt like the right step for KU to take to kind of elevate as a program.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Again, in today's size, we're not going to be a 90, 100,000 seat stadium here right on campus. Like you said, it has an intimate feeling. The closeness to the field, the steepness of the seats for the advantage point puts people on top of the game better than ever before, which you see often in today's modern stadiums. And I think with those amenities and the concourse that you're able to do, the convenience of concession stands, from what I understand, all those have been hugely upgraded. That makes the experience even better. And of course, then our responsibility is to play well in it and keep people coming back.
One thing really jumped out to me as I watched you guys play that game against Fresno State. It was on your first drive. I think it was a 3rd and long situation. Jalen scrambles, and he got up and he signaled first down, and he did it in such a confident way. I think you saw at times last year the confidence kind of waned up and down. I don't know if it's physical, mental, whatever it is. He feels like he's playing with a completely different energy so far this season.
Yeah, I think he's playing with a lot more confidence in a lot of different ways. He's comfortable with what we're doing offensively, not that he wasn't last year. The new receiving core around him, and really it goes back to how much he's been able to work and practice and do the things that he needs to be ready through from June until August 23rd when we kicked off, versus last year, June through the first game, was really night and day between him being on the field and the reps he took and really the receivers around him. And I think he's got confidence in timing and everything that's going around. He's in the best shape that he's been in a while. And I think all those is leading up to for him to have a fine season.
Right now, we're talking to the head coach of the Kansas Jayhawks, Lance Leipold, getting you ready for their showdown this weekend against Missouri. How do you communicate to your team, to the students, how important this rivalry is? It's been a basketball rivalry for the last couple of years, but it's been a long time since they've played each other in football. I don't have to tell you the importance of this. I've grown up in this rivalry as a Missouri fan and in Kansas City. How do you communicate that to 19-year-olds that maybe don't understand the magnitude of what we're talking about?
Well, I think, part of it even is today's world of social media and news and osmosis through different things, really, of people finding out from just walking campus. But again, we showed them some of the history that's gone through, why the states have had this rivalry for time, going through past differences on views and things like that, but also then the battles that have been on the field and really how close this rivalry has been. And for us to renew this, I think, is good for college football. I think it's good that we can get games like this that are in a better proximity than even like many of our conference games now, going coast to coast. And it brings attention to the thing and to this area. And I think it's great and healthy. And I think our guys are going to be excited for kickoff at 2:30 on Saturday.
I think it's so important to bring back the former players to kind of communicate this. I saw the video with Tony Sands. He seems like a perfect person to kind of help the kids understand what this week means to so many people.
Yeah, Tony Sands has talked to his team before, and he does a great job. He's passionate about his past and his experiences here at KU and how it's helped him in life, and we want that to be for all our players. But again, when you get to this rivalry, guys like him, Brandon McAnderson, Daryl Stuckey, guys who are still in this community and have been for a while, it's always good to get a perspective. I know Devin Neal was back in town last week. I mean, even guys like him who never had a chance to play in it is fired up for this game on Saturday.
Right now, we're talking to Lance Leipold. He's the head coach at the University of Kansas, getting ready for their matchup this weekend against Missouri. What have you seen from Missouri on film? They've only played one game this season, but I'm sure you've studied it and you're looking at some of their tendencies from last year. What do you notice about Mizzou when you watch them on film?
Well, again, you know, they played very well on Thursday night, had a blowout win, extremely talented football team. Coach Drinkwitz and his staff have done a great job. You know, we have great respect for what they've done here the past few years. Winning 21 games over the last 2 seasons says a lot, and especially to be able to do that in the Southeastern Conference. So we understand that they're multi-talented and on both sides of the ball. Defensively, again, a front four that's extremely athletic and physical, come quick off the edge. They've added some linebackers. The Trotter kid we played against at West Virginia last year, extremely talented football player, athletic in the back end with speed and physicality. Offensively, Prabilla, the transfer, you know, saw him a little bit last year during the playoffs before he hit the portal and through some other games. Very talented dual threat quarterback who can do a lot with his legs as well as through the air. They've added an excellent running back from Louisiana Monroe has excellent vision, speed, and quickness. Speed and athleticism on the outside. And of course, they've probably got a couple future NFL draft picks, high draft picks in that offensive line. So all those things equate to a huge challenge in playing a good football team. And for us to be able to be successful, we're going to have to play our best football to date on Saturday afternoon.
I see a lot of similarities in both teams' quarterbacks. How do you prepare for a quarterback like Prabula who can throw it a little bit but can also be very dangerous on the run?
Yeah, you got to make sure you got your eyes on the quarterback because he's not afraid of anything. You know, that's a big difference in today's football when you have mobile quarterbacks that when there's great coverage that could still create plays and extend drives with their feet. And he's been able to do that at both places now that he's played. And that'll be a challenge. And we've got to, you know, be excellent in coverage, but then again, have an eye on the scramble and make sure we're getting people around the ball and being physical as we get there.
How do you simulate the environment that your team is going into? It's one thing to kind of hear the stories. It's one thing to play road in other environments. I think you know that it's going to be loud. It's going to be loud for a full 60 minutes of this. How do you prepare your team for the wave of emotion that comes with playing in a rivalry game, but also playing in the road on Saturday?
Well, you know, again, you know, when you add as many players as we have, and really almost what everybody's doing across college football now, you always worry about how the team's going to come together first and foremost to start the season. But also then when you go into these environments or play your first road game, it's always going to be challenging as well that they stick together and communicate well and do those things. And to play a rivalry game like this out of the gate on the road is a huge challenge. Of course, we go through the crowd noise and things like we do. We talk about the extra communication that's going to be needed, being locked in, echoing the calls to other players and things. But it'll be challenging. And again, but at the same time, that's what makes college football to me so special. And environments like this on Saturday. And again, if we can play well and do the things that we're needed to, hopefully you can take the crowd out of it sooner than later.
Last thing here, how do you keep this like any other game? Also, without it being like any other game. The emotion's going to be high for everybody that's in the building. This is one of the more hated rivalries in college athletics. It's been a long absence from these two schools. It's going to be difficult to kind of keep all those emotions in check. How do you let your team know that this is just another Saturday, even though it's not?
Well, either way, I think both teams. I would imagine. I'm not in their meetings and talks and things, but I've always taken the approach as a head coach, especially at this time of the year. No matter what the outcome is, we have 9 conference games we have to get ready to play. So no matter how high or how low some things can be sometimes after one day, you've got to get your group ready to play again the rest of the season. So again, it's important. You want to play well. You want to get victories. And as you go, but the same thing needs to happen as you go through it. And that's why sometimes when you hear about in the NFL, you talk about guys who, being a pro. Being a pro doesn't mean you just get paid. You're being a professional on how you go about it, how you prepare, how you take care of yourself, your regular routines. And when you do that and you can trust your training, you can go out and play your best football. And that's what we try to emphasize to our players.
Coach, I have a lot of respect for you and what you've been able to do so far at KU. This is the 1 week that I can't cheer for you. I will cheer for you. Yeah.
I won't hold it against you this time, I guess, but I understand.
Coach, I promise I will cheer for you every other week this season. I cannot cheer for you on Saturday. I would even say good luck, but that wouldn't come from an honest place, Coach.
Honesty is the best policy. At least you can. I appreciate you giving me that fact, but appreciate the opportunity to be with you, and I wish you nothing but the best this week, other than Saturday and Rock Chalk.
That is the head coach at Kansas University, Lance Leipold. They are playing Missouri this weekend at Faurot Field. Coming up on the other side, I will ask Rob a toss-up question to get his answer. Rob is a Kansas alum. He is also a season ticket holder. He will be in Columbia. Which game would he rather win? Would he rather win on Sunday in Columbia or finally beat K-State? We'll ask him next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Listen up, folks. I want to tell you guys about my new obsession. It's Daisy French Onion Dip. With football season here, it is the perfect dip for your chips, your wings. The delicious Daisy French Onion Dip and the Daisy Ranch Dip, they're game changers. They're delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and real spices and also ingredients that you find right there in your kitchen. So the next time you're having people come over to celebrate the start of the football season, you better make sure you have one thing, and I'm talking about that Daisy French Onion Dip. You can find it the next time you go to the grocery store.
This Royal season, it's fountains up, it's batters up, adrenaline up, intensity up. And when the Royals battle the Mariners on Tuesday, September 16th, it's time to lift your hounds up, your terriers up, your spaniels, shepherds, retrievers, and mutts up. Harness up for Bark at the Park, presented by Underdog. Bring your four-legged fans to the K and take home the mystery Hot Dog Derby plush with the purchase of a theme ticket. Tickets at royals.com/bark.
Missouri, get ready! The wait is almost over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State, and you can sign up today. New Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets when we launch on December 1st. Download now and place a $5 bet when we go live. DraftKings Sportsbook brings everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code 965 to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. That's promo code 965 in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's. I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers, crinkle-cut fries with Texas toast. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Legendary doesn't happen by chance. It happens because it's what BetMGM does. Sign up for BetMGM and check out all the exciting new ways you can make this pro football season unforgettable. Shoot your shot with same-game parlays, call your plays like a pro with live betting, or bet on a market you didn't know existed thanks to BetMGM Originals. You'll be on the edge of your seat from the very first snap, no matter what type of fan you are. Earn BetMGM rewards points on every bet. Take advantage of football offers found nowhere else, like a second chance on a first touchdown bet, and keep an eye out for rewards dropping in your account throughout the season. Never settle for the ordinary. Sign up today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. Specific promotional offers are not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Here's traffic brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Good afternoon. A two-car crash up north Pleasant Valley. It's 35 southbound just before 435 in the right lane. And a crash 49 southbound past Red Bridge Road. It is the right lane block there from the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center. I'm Val, 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. The Drive with CDOT. Tune in as Nate Taylor of ESPN joins the show in studio every Friday at 4 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Trey Smith from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back into the show. My name is Carrington Harrison. KU fans, I want to ask you this question. I can't answer this question. I don't have the ability to answer this question. Quite honestly, I'd be perfectly fine if you guys lost both of these games. 913-586-7965. I'm going to start with Rob because Rob is a Kansas alum. He is a season ticket holder for football and basketball. He even went to a couple of baseball games this year when it looked like KU could maybe make the College World Series. He is a through and through Jayhawk. His wife is a Jayhawk alum. They love KU in their home. Rob, you can only win one of these two games. I tell you they go 1-1. You can either win Saturday at Missouri or you can beat K-State in a few weeks in the booth. It has been a while since you guys have beaten Missouri, obviously because of the gap in playing each other. It's been a real long time since they've beaten K-State. Have they beat K-State since you've been an adult? I'm not even trying to be funny. Have they beat them since you've been an adult?
I was 18 last time they beat them, 16 years ago.
Barely.
I'm 34, so yeah.
Barely.
Technically, yes, but no.
You can only win one of these two games. You're guaranteed to win one of these two. Which button are you pressing? Are you going on the road and beating Missouri, or are you beating K-State at home?
So this is actually an interesting question. And I was on a podcast this summer, a K-State podcast. Shout out to Bosco's boys. And they asked me the same question as K-State fans. They're like, what would you rather do? The answer is Missouri. The answer will always be Missouri. But what makes it tough to take this one is the 16-year drought. I think it is 55-45, where every other year it's like 80-20, beat Missouri, just beat Missouri, just beat Missouri. But that drought, that hiatus changes the calculus a little bit. But I think Missouri is, of the two, the one that I would rather win because it is the bigger rival Kansas has. And the fact that it's the rivalry renewed and all the other elements, I will take Missouri as their bigger rival and the game I would rather win of the two.
The only reason I ask this question is because it's an impossible question, right? You're happy with both of them. Is beating them in your new building KU fans are 100% storming the field. It doesn't matter what the score is, doesn't matter what KU is ranked, doesn't matter what K-State is. If they beat K-State in football this year in that stadium, the students are running on the field and they're tearing down the goalposts. That's a big-time moment for you guys. That's a big-time moment for Lance Leipold. All this Missouri win does is just make Missouri fans mad, which is great.
I will say, hold on, I apologize for interrupting. If KU beats Missouri, though, it is the biggest win that Lance Leipold has had in his tenure at Kansas.
Even bigger than the Texas win?
Even bigger than the Texas win. Because the Texas win, they were 2-10. Like, they won a great game, and it started the program and all the whole deal. They went 2-10 that year. They were still a doormat in the league. You go on the road to an SEC team that has won 20 games in the last 2 seasons, and you beat them in their house, that is undeniably the biggest win in his team. The only win comparable is Oklahoma. Like, it's K-State would be as well, but Missouri is an undeniable resume program-changing type of win if he goes into Columbia and wins.
I would also say if KU can figure out a way to win this game, we do need to come back and have a different conversation about their ability to compete in the Big 12. Now, you still got to go on the road. You go on the road and play Texas Tech. You will not be favored in that game. You mentioned K-State. I know that right now KU is playing a little bit better than K-State. The history, the tradition, I still think K-State is a better team than KU. On the road against Arizona, on the road against Iowa State, also on the road, a home game against Utah to close out the year. Like, you guys didn't really get a lot of gimmies, and most of the team that we think are going to be good in the Big 12, they just happen to be on KU's schedule this year. So, the schedule didn't break perfectly for you guys. But if KU wins this game, you can start to really think about them winning 7 or 8 games. If you can go on the road and beat Missouri, you can go on the road and beat Texas Tech. You can go on the road and beat Arizona. You can beat UCF. You can be really, really dangerous in the Big 12.
I actually was talking to Drew about this. We were doing the changeover. You and Gold were fighting. Me and Drew were talking about college football, and he made the point that if KU beats Missouri, they should be 6-0 heading into Lubbock. I know the schedule doesn't break right. You're right. K-State's on the schedule. Utah's on the schedule. Texas Tech's on the schedule. Those are the teams outside of Arizona State that we presume are the bullies in the Big 12. But if KU beats Missouri, they then got a bye week. They then got West Virginia, who's predicted to be the bottom half of the league. They got Cincinnati, who I know looked okay against Nebraska, but they're supposed to be bottom half of the league. And they have UCF, who barely beat an FCS team and is predicted to be the last team in the league. That quickly is 6-0 headed into Lubbock. And you know how college sports work the same way I know how college sports work. Some of it is just momentum. And if KU can go get this one, then the ball starts rolling that you feel like, oh, something special is happening in Lawrence. And now you're headed into Lubbock undefeated with potentially a Big 12 title berth at stake. That feels like a massive game. It could still be 5-1 in Lubbock and all those things, but the Missouri game is a little bit of a turning point for that. I will say, for the Missouri side, it's the same for Missouri. They open their season with all those home games. If you lose this one, it takes a little bit of the air out of the balloon for what Mizzou could be this season, because there's expectations of being another 9-win team in Columbia.
Yeah, for sure. I'm kind of looking at this where you win this game, they'll win next week against Louisiana Monroe, and then you got South Carolina at home. That's kind of one of those teams. I'd put them in that second tier in the SEC. I don't think they're Georgia. I don't think they're LSU, but I think they're right there. One of those teams that could be either the third or the fourth team to represent the SEC in the college football playoff. If you're Missouri, you got to be thinking and hoping that you can potentially end up being one of those teams. So that's certainly a game that I kind of have circled, but you got to take care of business. I'm not going into this taking KU lightly. I think KU has a good coach. I think they have a healthy, confident quarterback. That gives you a chance to go on the road and beat Missouri. I think Missouri is more talented than KU. I think they have better players than KU, but I'm not going to go into this thinking that no, it's a rivalry game. It's college students. Anything can happen. Football is just weird in a one-game scenario. I think it's going to be a really fun, really entertaining game this weekend between those two teams. Really thankful that Lance Leipold was on the show earlier today. If you missed him, be sure to check out the podcast page. All right, I have to talk about this for a little bit, then I promise you we'll get back to football. We'll get back to the NFL. We'll talk about Justin Herbert here coming up in a bit. Today, they shut down Stream East. Now, I know this is sad news for a lot of you guys. Stream East has held us down for plenty of years. For those of you that don't know what Stream East is, it was an illegal site in which you could basically watch any sporting event. You didn't want to pay for Sunday Ticket? Pull it up on Stream East. You wanted to watch the Manny Pacquiao fight? It was available on Stream East. Maybe you're a UFC individual. It didn't matter. Whatever you were into from a sports perspective, you know what? Stream East could always hold you down. Now, I'm here to tell you that there are still bright days ahead of us for a couple of different reasons. One, it feels like sports are going away from the pay-per-view model. I mean, WWE going away from it. The biggest boxing match of the year is available on Netflix. The UFC also just signed a deal with Paramount Plus. I don't know if charging $50, $60 for a pay-per-view, I don't know if that's going to be a thing here coming up in 2026 or beyond. It seems like we have kind of evolved past that model, so maybe we won't need Stream East the same way that we used to back in the day. But I'm here to tell you that you can't stop the internet from being the internet. And I get it. They probably feel real good about themselves that they took this website down and man, they're patting each other on the back. We've seen enough cop shows. Man, we got this dope off the street. And you did. No, you're right. Absolutely. I can give you 15 sites that are the exact same as this one. You can't stop all of them. Once we got the taste of downloading music on our computer and we stopped going to Best Buy to buy it, they had to come up with a better way to sell us music. You couldn't put the toothpaste back in the tube. I was never going to go back to a life where every Tuesday I was buying music from Sam Goody. That was over. Once you gave me that first taste of, wait, I can just download Eminem's album right here on the computer and it's free, they had to come up with something different. The reason we are seeing these companies reach these deals with these streamers is it's just too easy to just take it. Why do you need to pay $50, $60 every UFC pay-per-view? I can give you a website that gives it to you in perfect HD quality. I don't need to do this anymore. So yes, they took down Stream East today. And Stream East was one of the ones that I used. It was one of the ones that I used. You can't stop the internet from being the internet. The internet is going to always figure out how to get you something for free. One of the worst things that happened in terms of media or content is that the expectation early on is that things were free. We never thought newspapers were free. And then when all this news and information became available on the computer, made it really hard for the Kansas City Star to charge you for it online. Wait, why do I have to pay for this? You can't stop this. So yes, they have shut down one website. It is impossible for them to shut down all of them. They will never get somebody like me to pay for Sunday Ticket. Not at how much they're charging for it. I'd be happy to pay for Sunday Ticket if it was a regular price. I think I saw they're running that commercial now, Rob. What is it? It's like $50 in 8 payments? No chance. Not at all. Not when, I already get the games that I want with the Chiefs. You already give me Sunday Night Football. You already give me Monday Night Football. I got Amazon Prime, so I get Thursday Night Football. I'm paying $400 for Sunday Ticket so I can watch Ravens Jets at noon? No thanks. Hey, man, go and hand me that Fire Stick right there. Don't worry. I'll pull it up. I'll get it going. You cannot stop the internet from being the internet. That's what I'm here to announce to you guys. Let's talk about Justin Herbert. He's turned into like one of our favorite topics over the last 30 days. He's certainly been in the news a whole lot. So I looked this up. And I looked this up because our dear brother Danny Parkins is going to be on the show tomorrow, and I can't wait to argue with him about Justin Herbert. Rob, if you can pull what Danny has said about Herbert to the top of the folder so I can play it. Danny has been one of the biggest people in the media spreading lies and propaganda about Justin Herbert. He is not the only person that has been spreading lies. Alex Gold, he does it routinely on this radio station.
Then you add in the fact, this is not even hating, but like it's the reality that MU hasn't been competitive since they started playing in these games. They just haven't. And so maybe that changes in Columbia on Sunday. I don't think it's going to. This game doesn't have much buzz around it, guys. It just doesn't. Part of it is a lot of people aren't in college basketball mode.
Alex been lying to you guys for a long time on this station.
But if Missouri was 10th in the country or something, then there would be buzz. They're not. They haven't held up their end of the bargain since the series renewed, and I'm so glad it did. And this one's in Columbia, and I have no doubt it's going to be a great atmosphere, at least to start. We'll see what happens in the second half, because Missouri's been competitive for about 10 minutes.
That was Alex Gold during the basketball game. Very, very confident that KU was going to win. I'm here to inform you that they didn't beat Missouri in basketball this year. I mean, we're about to have the title right now in basketball and football. What other sport do you want to play if you're KU? You want to play hockey? You want to play tic-tac-toe? You just keep losing to Missouri. I remember for the longest time, we were worried about Kansas not wanting to play Missouri. Maybe that might continue to be the case. Maybe Kansas will be the one to say, you know what, this rivalry, it's ceased competitiveness. We can't keep up to them on the basketball court anymore. I mean, that used to be our bread and butter. That's what we hang our hat on. It's Fog Allen Fieldhouse, and James Naismith's name is on the court, and now we've been passed up by Dennis Gates. Maybe we should stop playing them. I never thought I would see Bill Self scared to schedule out of conference, but maybe he is. I wouldn't want it with Missouri either. Rob, they're getting top 5 recruits. You see we got the new kid coming in from Cali? You see that? Top 5 recruit. You guys don't get players like that over at KU.
We don't?
No, you don't. You don't, not at all. This guy, you know what? He's not even coming there for the money. He's coming there for the tradition. He went to Shakespeare's Pizza one time. He went to Trops and said, you know what? I want to take my basketball talents here. People at Mizzou are doing it for the love. You guys are in it for the money. That's the problem with college athletics. That's the problem.
I mean,
you guys are treating it like a business, and that's not what it is. This is an amateur sport.
That's 100% why Caden Green left Oklahoma. Just pure love for the old home state.
Yeah, come back home. Yeah, exactly. Come back home.
His timing of leaving was also just a coincidence of just loving the home state.
100%. I mean, if you're going to get beat by players on Central Arkansas, you might as well do it in a Tigers uniform and not for the Sooners. Here's Danny talking about Justin Herbert.
I'd have him where Stafford is right now. He's the fifth. He's the fifth best quarterback in football. And yes,
This is already mad.
I want you to succeed.
You're already mad.
If you succeed, I succeed. You're just making it so difficult.
Go ahead.
All right, well, I mean, listen. All right, well, we can just him v. Stafford. Herbert had more yards.
Well, Stafford's going to like this. Go ahead. I'm not that high on everybody's All-American.
More yards, better passer rating, more touchdowns, fewer interceptions than Stafford last year. And there is something to, and I know this is where you get upset.
I like that, actually.
How I see the NFL and the eye test.
I like the eye test.
It's the eye test, man. He passes all of it. And these coaches, scouts, and executives who do the rankings, what was it, 50, you said, for the Athletic? They had him 7th. ESPN put one together with coaches, scouts, and executives, 70 of them, and they ranked him 7th. Ahead of Jalen Hurts on both lists. The people who do this, if we were starting a team today, who you would draft, they think he's one of the best players in football.
I can't wait to talk to Danny about this tomorrow. He's coming on the show. Rob and I looked this up because we were curious. This is what we looked up. We looked up over the last 10 drafts the first-round quarterbacks who have not won a playoff game. Now, we kind of went back just a little bit. I mean, Drake May, he just hasn't played enough football to win a playoff game yet. I mean, I know Jaden Daniels did, but just 1 year. I'm not putting him in the same category as Justin Herbert, who's been playing now for 7 seasons. I don't think that's fair to do. Justin Herbert was playing in empty COVID stadiums. He certainly had enough time to win a playoff game. This is the list. Kyler Murray, Tua Tagovailoa, Sam Darnold, Mitch Trubisky, Carson Wentz, Jameis Winston, and yes, of course, Justin Herbert. That is the list of first-round quarterbacks who have not won a playoff game. You cannot be a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League. I don't care what eye test you pass. I don't care what talent you believe that this player possesses. I don't care. I do not care. You cannot tell me you are a top 5 quarterback if you are on the same list with Mitch Trubisky, Carson Wentz, and Jameis Winston. It's impossible for you to be a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League if that's the case. And that's why yesterday when you and I were talking about Herbert, I don't even know why we're having a conversation with him in the Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Those guys are going to Super Bowls. Those guys are winning MVPs. Those guys are, I don't even know why we're having those conversations where he is in that group. Up until otherwise, you know who you are? You are AFC Kyler Murray. You are West Coast Tua Tagovailoa. You're Mitch Trubisky with better hair. That's who you are. That's who you are. Until proven otherwise, you are Pacific Northwest Jameis Winston. That's who you are. You went to Oregon, right? That's who you are. Pacific Northwest Jameis Winston until proven otherwise. I can't do it. You don't understand the hurt that I have. If I have to wear the Chargers moniker, at least give me something to be proud. You've embarrassed me. You've shamed me. No, I'll never go back, ever. And I can't wait to talk to Danny about this. That's the list. Over the last 10 drafts, first-round quarterbacks who have played more than 3 seasons, Kyler Murray, Tua, Sam Darnold, Mitch Trubisky, Carson Wentz, Jameis Winston, Justin Herbert. That's the list of quarterbacks that don't have a playoff win. How dare you put him in the same conversation with the Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson when you got 0 playoff wins at 27 years old?
It is astonishing to me why so many people have Justin Herbert where they have him. I get it on the one side because, and this is where Danny's right, and I hate this sentence. I hate it. He does pass the eye test. But here's the thing. The eye test doesn't matter. You know what the eye test does a lot? It lies. It tells straight up lies because it is too subjective. The actual stats, as Barbershop calls it, the computer box, the thing that he hates will point to Justin Herbert's just fine. I don't think he's bad. I think sometimes with Justin Herbert, people jump to, oh, well, he's not good. He's not bad. He's West Coast Alex Smith. He is bigger arm, longer hair, better, whatever it is. But all he does is win meaningless regular season games, have cool stats, and then go lose in the playoffs. And when you surround him with a great coach, he's better, but he's still losing the playoffs the same way. Alex Smith had Jim Harbaugh. He got better. They lost in the playoffs. Alex Smith had Andy Reid. He got better. They lost in the playoffs. Justin Herbert had Anthony Lynn, and Brandon Staley was real bad. And now he has Jim Harbaugh. And they're better, but they're still losing in the playoffs. Like, maybe it's unfair to throw the Alex Smith moniker on so many quarterbacks, but that's what Justin Herbert is. He just passes the eye test that scouts and GMs love, but he's like the 13th best quarterback in the NFL, and we talk about him like he's the 3rd, which is just a massive delineation.
I just wonder with players, and maybe this is the kind of stance that I've taken on Justin Herbert. Man, once you get to your second contract, man, I don't want to keep hearing about this potential. At this point, you should have done it by now. Justin Herbert signed his second contract 2 years ago. He signed his second contract in 2023. Now, granted, let's play another season of it, but you're already on your second deal. You signed a 5-year, $262 million contract. You're one of the highest paid players in the National Football League. Handsomely paid, West Coast, great coach. There are no more excuses for me with him. He is a slightly above average, slightly over 500 quarterback until proven otherwise. I just got to see it. And the fantasy football numbers that you've put up so far, they're just not doing it for me. That's the only way that I can put it. They're just quite simply not doing it for me. If you missed it, we're having Danny on the show tomorrow. Danny has put Justin Herbert as a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League. And oh, trust me, we will talk to him about this coming up tomorrow. In the 4 o'clock hour, we have pulled up a pretty interesting stat about the National Football League that I want to share with you guys. Coming up, you know what? This game on Friday is one of Lamar Hunt's visions. We'll talk about it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive on 96.5 The Fan.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Please gamble responsibly. Pro football season is almost here. Taking a look at the futures market, offensive rookie of the year, and the guy that I'm looking at is Jacksonville's star receiver, the 2nd pick in the draft. Great last season at Colorado. Jacksonville's wide receiver cornerback, 10-1 to an offensive rookie of the year. And yes, he may play some on defense this year, which could hurt his candidacy on offense, but listed on the opening depth chart start as a starter at receiver, and the other receiver in Jacksonville's awesome, I like this price. Jacksonville's electric rookie, 10-1 Offensive Rookie of the Year.
That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app and take your game to the next level with the sportsbook born in Vegas. Please gamble responsibly.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
That leaf pile is 100 feet tall. Your dad can't handle this. Not without the right equipment.
Yard work piling up? Gear up for fall with John Deere. Get $750 off select mowers, $2,000 off select Gator UVs, and $3,000 off select compact tractors.
Did I hear your dad got a John Deere? Yep, bad day to be a leaf pile.
Gear up for fall at an authorized John Deere dealer, now through September 30th. Learn more at johndeere.com/gearupforfall.
Brew Brothers at Harris, Kansas City, now open. Dine on mouth-watering appetizers, then feast on one of our 6 American Wagyu burgers, including the Bacon Jam Burger and Blazing Burger. Wash it down with your favorite ice-cold beverage, all while watching the game on one of our 45 TVs. Dine in or carry out. Brew Brothers at Harris, Kansas City always hits the spot. Brew Brothers and Brew Brothers Express are now open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-BETS-OFF.
Man, if your stream isn't as strong as it used to be, or you're taking more breaks to the bathroom than the last 2 minutes of a televised football game,
there's another timeout. We'll be back after this.
it's time to get checked. An enlarged prostate, or BPH, could be the cause. And Kansas City Urology Care is here to help. Fast answers, trusted care. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there. With information coming at us all day, every day, it's hard to know what to trust. And the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals. So it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth.
Your cold is coming. Your cold is coming. When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand.
Oh, no, not before my big trip.
The big trip you've been planning is coming up, and so is your cold. But Zicam can shorten your cold and get you back to planning sooner.
Thanks, Revere.
We really should keep Zicam in the house.
Shorten your cold with Zicam.
Take it from America's most revered messenger. Shorten your cold at the first sign with cold shortening products from Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand. Available in stores or see where to buy at Zicam.com.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Legendary doesn't happen by chance. It happens because it's what BetMGM does. Sign up for BetMGM and check out all the exciting new ways you can make this pro football season unforgettable. Shoot your shot with same-game parlays, call your plays like a pro with live betting, or bet on a market you didn't know existed thanks to BetMGM Originals. You'll be on the edge of your seat from the very first snap, no matter what type of fan you are. Earn BetMGM rewards points on every bet. Take advantage of football offers found nowhere else, like a second chance on a first touchdown bet, and keep an eye out for rewards dropping in your account throughout the season. Never settle for the ordinary. Sign up today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. Specific promotional offers are not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Sports brought to you by the Salvation Army and registertoring.com.
KC Companies, give back this holiday season. Adopt a kettle with the Salvation Army. Get your team out ringing bells for a great cause. Adopt a block of shifts or full days. Go to registertoring.com and make a difference. That's registertoring.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by the Salvation Army of Kansas City, still working the Pleasant Valley wreck. 35 southbound just before 435. It's the right lane blocked. Down south on the line, State Line, 435 eastbound at State Line. Right lane is blocked by a stall. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val, 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
I want to answer or respond to this text about Justin Herbert because it honestly makes me want to pull my hair out. I think you were the one that mentioned Alex Smith. I didn't mention Alex Smith, but I just want to read this text anyway. Justin Herbert and Alex Smith should never be compared in any way. Herbert has skills that Alex Smith wishes that he had. Alex Smith is Brock Purdy. And Herbert has had 3 head coaches and 4 offensive coordinators. That's all the excuses needed. And that's not even counting the fact that every year his team has had massive injuries or they're relying on players like Quentin Johnston. Herbert is absolutely a top 7 quarterback. The reason that frustrates me so much is that's football. That's football. In what world does your team stay healthy? Patrick Mahomes has not had Rashee Rice for a calendar year. He's their number 1 receiver. Right? We can go through every team in the league. What you're describing is football. That's life. If we're now making the argument that in order for Justin Herbert to be good, everything has to line up perfectly, you know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like Alex Smith. I just don't get it. I don't understand. I don't get it. I think Justin Herbert is talented, no question. Justin Herbert has never done anything memorable in the National Football League. Not a single thing. Not a one. He doesn't have a drive you remember. He doesn't have a game winning, nothing. He has done absolutely nothing. Maybe in his entire football career, there's not something back at Oregon you remember from Justin Herbert. Not a single memory. But he puts up good fantasy football numbers. I can give you that. He has been a very productive, very capable quarterback in the National Football League. He is currently 2 games over 500 as a quarterback in the National Football League. So just 2. I just want to say this. The gentleman replied and said, correct, that's football, but Herbert's circumstances have been rough. The coaching and coordinators change every year is the excuse for every other QB, but it doesn't work for Herbert. The good coaches in the league, or the good quarterbacks in the league, they don't keep changing coaches and coordinators because their team wins. One of the reasons why the Chargers have to keep changing coaches and coordinators because they can't figure it out. The Ravens don't keep changing coach. The Bills don't keep changing head coach. The Chiefs don't keep changing head coach because their coach is good. They keep winning games. Patrick Mahomes has played for multiple offensive coordinators in his career. Jalen Hurts has played for multiple offensive coordinators in his career. Like, if your team is having success, guys move on somewhere. Guys get other jobs. It's kind of par for the course. So, I'm sorry. Like, there's literally nothing you can sell me, honestly, with Justin Herbert. I don't want any of it. I don't want any stock. I'm not buying it. I don't believe it. I don't want any parts of it. I looked this up because I was curious. Did you know that 10 years ago, there were only 3 games internationally? There were 3 games. The Chiefs actually played in one of those games. You guys remember back in 2015, it was actually during the Royals playoff run. I believe the Chiefs played the Lions. They played them overseas. It was like the same time the Royals were winning the World Series. They had 3 games. They have now doubled it in a decade. We are now at 7. There's 7 international games, and they starting to get real crazy with it. A decade ago, all of the international games were in one city they were in. That's not the case anymore. In fact, we have an NFL team this year, the Minnesota Vikings. They are going to play back-to-back international games in 2 different cities. So we are talking about they are doing massive experiments when it comes to international. We all know where this is leading, right? Especially when they expand the season. We all know that they're heading toward 18 games. They've been telling you this now for 5 years. They want 18 games, and they are going to get an extra game every team is going to be playing at least one international game by the time we get to 18 games. I think before then, they're going to start doing it. I think we're going to start seeing some teams play 2 of those games. Now that you guys got 9 games apiece, whether it's home and road, the Fan used to just get 8 of these games when it was a 16-game schedule. Now we got 2 games that we can play with. Now we can force some of these teams to play multiple international games, and we're going to add another bye week to it. So now we can have you play a game in Brazil. We can give you a bye week, and then we can send you to another country. There is nothing about this that makes me think they're going to scale back the international mission. They have sold us all the football that they can. They cannot sell the American public any more football. We watch it. We consume it. We buy it. You gamble on it. You play fantasy football. They cannot sell us football anymore. Their goal now is to take over other territories. If you watch The Kingdom, that's basically what Lamar Hunt was telling you. He told you this in the early 90s, that they felt like they figured out the American market. Now, it's grown over time, but America loves our product. We now got to get Germany to like it. We got to get Brazil to like it. We got to get Mexico to like it. We have to introduce this game to all of these other countries, and now we got to start taking some of their money. That's the reason why they're so hell-bent on streaming. You've got all the money that you can get from CBS, all the money that you can get from NBC. But you know what? Now you guys got this streaming service, and this streaming service goes all over the world. We want our games on Peacock. We want our games on Netflix. We want our games on Amazon Prime across the world. That's why the NFL has really been pushing super hard for the streaming. It's the international rights more than the domestic rights. They cannot sell the American public any more football. You watch it. You watch it on Saturdays. You watch it on Sundays, Thursday, Tuesday. They have you hooked at this point. You are not going anywhere. So, yes, they will put commercials in your red zone. They will do what it doesn't matter. It is about getting other countries, other markets, other demographics into football, and they are going to continue to give them more and more content. In just a decade, they have gone from 3 games to 7 games internationally. They have doubled, and that number is not getting smaller. That number is only getting bigger. They're not giving them international games on Fridays to kick off the season. This is not stopping anytime soon.
I mean, on the one hand, I get why kind of fans hate the international vision because you lose football domestically. But the NFL hasn't been hiding this. They've been doing it in plain sight for a while. If you watch The Kingdom, Lamar Hunt, was talking about a 91. But since Goodell has taken over, this thing has exploded. And they're not just, you talked about 10 years ago, they were all at Wembley. They're all in England. Now they've played multiple in Brazil. I believe they're going to Spain this year. They've gone to Germany. They're talking about going other places. They've been to Mexico City. Like, it is not just, hey, we're going to play some games in London and they're going to like it. It's now multiple stadiums in London. It is a full, all systems go. And you joked about the NFL's been telling you about going to 18 games. They've been telling you for 10 years they're going to do more abroad games. They say it every year at the State of the Union. Roger Goodell has his little sit down with the media at the Super Bowl. Every year he's asked about the international games. He talks about how it's a mission to make the NFL bigger, to have more and more international games. Where he's checking more and more and more boxes. They're going to be playing everywhere. I think they're going to Dublin next year. It is undeniable what the NFL is trying to do. They're trying to have their brand be as big as soccer. Because soccer comes to America, they bring the biggest teams, it sells out. The NFL wants to do that in your country the same way soccer does it in theirs.
Coming up at the top of the hour, we looked something up. We went through the last 10 years of teams that made it to the AFC and NFC championship game. We found something very, very interesting. We'll tell you what that is. We'll also get back to the border war between Missouri and Kansas, and my moment has been posted on the internet. We'll discuss it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
You've got a crash up north of downtown, 29 southbound, just past Gateway. It is the right lane blocked. Down near Olathe, working the two-car crash, 35 northbound as you approach 119th. It's the two right lanes that are blocked there. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val, 96.5 The Fan.
Summer is here, and that means longer days and warm nights, rooftop dinners, spontaneous getaways, vacation season, and romance is in the air. But if you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, all that excitement, it can feel like pressure and like you're missing out on something. Well, look, you're not alone. And more importantly, there's help that's out there, especially with my friends over at Heartland Men's Health. They specialize in ED treatments that work even when the pills and the herbals don't, with a success rate of over 90%. Some guys even last an hour or more. Summer should feel unforgettable, romantic, confident, not stressful. If your sex life is just good enough, then why should you settle? Your first visit is just $99, including a full medical consult, testosterone, and a PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if it doesn't work right there in the office, then your visit is on the house. Visit the website, heartlandmenshealth.com. With offices in Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City, you can get back in action as soon as tomorrow. Don't let ED steal your summer away. Reclaim it, and you can do that with Heartland Men's Health.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Getting the job done right the first time protects your home, time, and budget. This summer, get $500 off a water softener and filtration combo. Schedule at anthonyphce.com.
Missouri, get ready! The wait is almost over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State, and you can sign up today. New Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets when we launch on December 1st. Download now and place a $5 bet when we go live. DraftKings Sportsbook brings everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code 965 to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. That's promo code 965 in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
The last blast of summer, the last home series, the last Let's Go Royals, the last Hot Dog Derby, the last 2015 Champs bobblehead, the last Fireworks Friday, the last Bring Out the Blue t-shirt, the last Theme Night bobblehead, the last chance to see your boys in blue in person in the 2025 regular season. It's Royals Blue Jays, Friday through Sunday, September 19th through the 21st. The last thing you want to do is miss it. Visit royals.com/tickets.
How about those Chiefs?
Chiefs Kingdom for the first time ever. The Chiefs play on Red Friday. Get ready for a kickoff like no other with our limited edition, one-of-a-kind How About Those Chiefs flag available on Friday, September 5th at KC Area McDonald's for $5 or shop.chiefs.com for $10, benefiting Ronald McDonald House Charities of Kansas City. For more information, visit Chiefs.com/Red Friday. And make sure you tune into our game in Brazil against the Chargers that night at 7 p.m.
Kids are back in school, so schedule your project today that was put on hold this summer. With Powell Exteriors KC Easy Financing, pay no interest until 2027. Whether a custom deck or patio to siding, windows or roofing, they do it all and are ready to do it for you. Take advantage of this fall weather and get some of these projects knocked out. Go to PowellExteriorsKC.com to schedule your free estimate today. It's the power of KC. Powell Exteriors KC, Kansas City's exterior experts.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Please gamble responsibly. Pro football season is almost here. Taking a look at the futures market, offensive rookie of the year, and the guy that I'm looking at is Jacksonville's star receiver, the second pick in the draft. Great last season at Colorado. Jacksonville's wide receiver cornerback, 10-1 to win offensive rookie of the year. And yes, he may play some on defense this year, which could hurt his candidacy on offense, but listed on the opening depth chart as a starter at receiver, and the other receiver in Jacksonville's awesome, I like this price. Jacksonville's electric rookie, 10-1 Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app and take your game to the next level with the sportsbook born in Vegas. Please gamble responsibly.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Paid for client betrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law. How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. Listen to the Royals and Twins this Friday on The Fan, AM 610 with Vern's On Deck Show starting at 5:30. This is your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
This is to be expected. This is how you know that Alex Gold is really worried. This is how you know that Alex Gold is really concerned about his team this weekend. If you guys have been following our little back and forth, I offered Alex Gold tickets to go to this weekend's MU-KU game. The tickets are right next to Rob. What we got was a bevy of excuses of why he wouldn't accept the tickets. Oh, man, I don't want to spend $1 in Columbia. Man, it's early. It's the drive. I'm just going to watch it on TV. You know the energy you get when somebody really doesn't want to do something? And I wasn't going to be in a position like I got to twist your arm to give you free tickets to go to the game. No. They're free. It's a parking pass. Hey, go to the game. We know each other. We're friends. I'm already going. Let's have a good time. No, man, I didn't plan for it. And I mean, if you had told me a couple of weeks ago, it's week 3 of the college football season. How early did I have to tell you? So Alex didn't want to go. So it's been a little bit of back and forth, just all friendly. It's all good-natured ribbing. We're the guys. Yesterday, I was emotionally attacked. That's the best way to put it. I was emotionally attacked. A friend asked me to go to a Royals game, and I agreed. Yeah, of course, I'll go. If you don't want to go to the game by yourself, you know what? I'm here. I'm here to support, and I'm here to be a good friend. All of a sudden, we get placed on the kiss cam. I'm sitting there minding my business. I didn't consent to being on the kiss cam, but you know what? Here we are. I was just trying to be a regular fan, a regular patron, when I was assaulted by the Royals cameraman. So I'm just like, you know what? I just looked to her and I'm like, hey, we're on the kiss cam. Like, when in Rome. That's what I'm thinking. Next thing you know, I get a head shake and you don't belong to me. And then the camera cut. And now I'm sitting here and then it's the whole, the groan from the crowd. They're laughing at me. And now look, Scott Parks is coming in here. Aren't you supposed to be on the air?
We're in a commercial break, top of the hour. We just watched the video in our studio, and I don't know if I should laugh or cry for you. How embarrassing. She just says no. No. She wants nothing to do with those lips.
I blame Alex Gold. I feel like what he did was dirty pool. We offered him tickets to go to MU-KU. He didn't accept the tickets. And now he's trying to make fun of me in a moment of great emotional distress, great pain, and asking me to relive a moment in which I was publicly embarrassed. This could have just gone away.
Who is this woman to you?
A dear close friend.
Not that dear and not that close.
Obviously, she didn't want to be dear or close.
No. Bro. How did you even wake up this morning?
I'm going to recover. It's going to take time, but you know what? I'm going to take it one day at a time.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it one day at a time is what I'm going to do.
Well, I'm not saying we were laughing at you in the other room.
Oh, I could hear Dana.
But we were laughing at you in the other room.
I could hear Dana cackling.
Oh, she goes, it's online. It's online. I got to run.
I can hear Dana.
But I feel for you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know what? That's what a real friend does. You see, I was down, Rob. I was emotional. You see what happened, man. Now the text line's laughing at me. I'm a joke to you guys.
Someone called it the Coldplay cam, and I am laughing at that. I'm not gonna lie. That's funny. I'm just have your back. But calling it the Coldplay cam was funny.
That's funny. That's funny. I'm gonna get through this. It's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be tough. But you know what? I've been through worse. Text line is saying they need more evidence about Alex Gold. Okay. I mean, we already have on record multiple times he's tried to go out of his way to downplay this rivalry.
But if Missouri was 10th in the country or something, then there would be buzz. They're not. They haven't held up their end of the bargain since the series renewed, and I'm so glad it did. And this one's in Columbia, and I have no doubt it's going to be a great atmosphere, at least to start. We'll see what happens in the second half, because Missouri's been competitive for about 10 minutes.
I mean, in basketball, he didn't want to go to the game because he didn't think it was going to be competitive. He had an opportunity to go to the game. He didn't want to go because he told me there was no buzz for the game.
Then you add in the fact, this is not even hating, but it's the reality that MU hasn't been competitive since they started playing in these games. They just haven't. And so maybe that changes in Columbia on Sunday. I don't think it's going to. This game doesn't have much buzz around it, guys. It just doesn't. Part of it is a lot of people aren't in college basketball mode.
It's always something. At first, there was no buzz. He wasn't in the college basketball mood. Now, he doesn't want to go to the game. He doesn't want to spend money in Columbia. And this is the guy you believe. You determine who you believe. I can't tell you who to believe. You make that determination for yourself. I've given you no reason to question my story. And if you want to continue to kick a man while he's down, while the internet is laughing at him and mocking him, be my guest. But I know what? I'm going to keep my head held high. I don't even know if I can depend on Rob. I don't even know if I got Rob to rely on. Rob was playing funny songs earlier today, just having a little funny laugh at my expense. You think that's funny to me? I got embarrassed in public, and now I'm getting embarrassed on the internet, and now I got to relive it? That's funny to you. You're supposed to be my mans. We're supposed to be on the same team. I'm supposed to be Brady. You're supposed to be Gronk. You my Julian Edelman. I can't rely on you anymore. That hurts, man.
I'm back on the team.
Oh, here we go. Now you back on the team.
Pre-seeing the video, I thought it was all fun and games, but now I've seen the video, and you know what? I do feel for you. I got you. I got your back.
Okay, all right. You know what?
The video makes it so much worse.
That's good to hear. You even know this person.
Oh, I do know this person.
You know this person. Yeah, you do know this person. That's why it's so hurtful. That's like, this person's been around. You know this person. You know that's my friend.
I've been to multiple movies and
For sure,
had dinner with this person.
Yeah, that makes it even worse. Alex also knows who this person is. I know, terrible. Can't believe you would embarrass me like that in front of company like this. How could you do this to me? Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Earlier on the show, we had Lance Leipold on the show. I would highly encourage you to go check it out. I would encourage you to check out our Lance Leipold interview from earlier in the show. This is that weird where we can't really start a new segment because we got a break. So you know what? I think I'll split the baby. Rob and I did this research earlier today. Out of the last 10 AFC or NFC championship games, in 9 of those seasons, one of those teams has outright missed the postseason. So that means this upcoming year, if you are somebody that buys into history kind of matters. If you buy into history, the Chiefs, Bills, Eagles, or Commanders, one of those teams is going to miss the playoffs this year. 913-586-7965. We asked you guys a very simple question. Which of those teams do you think it's going to be? In 9 of the last 10 years, one of those teams misses the playoffs. You're thinking, oh, well, no, that can't happen. I mean, 2 years ago, it was San Francisco. Cincinnati, you remember, Cincinnati beat the Chiefs in the AFC championship game. They went to the championship game before then. We're thinking Cincinnati's in that same conversation with the Baltimore, Buffalo, Kansas City. They have missed the playoffs the last 2 years. You guys know what team I think it is. I think it's the Commanders. They got regression written all over them. They overachieved last year. Their schedule lined up in such a way that gave them an opportunity to make a deep run, to make the postseason. I don't think the Commanders are making the postseason at all this year. That's my team. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. 913-586-7965. We'll answer that question a little bit more coming up on the other side, and we'll also get back to the Chiefs and get you ready for Week 1 against the Chargers. Keep it right here, so Drive.
This is Wyatt Thompson from K-State, and you're listening to The Drive with CDOT right here on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Good morning, Casey's Country. Darn Good Coffee's now 49 cents when you buy any breakfast sandwich or burrito. Some are calling it a great deal. I call it sensational. I'm so sorry. Bad joke. Good deal, though. It's not crazy. It's Casey's. See store for details. Count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long.
Here we go.
Starting with a Week 1 NFC North rivalry between the Lions and Packers.
And he's in for a touchdown.
Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
The wait is finally over. Football season is here, and FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer that you don't want to miss. New customers, you can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, any bet. Bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. Use it how you want. Build your favorite parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style is. Remember, FanDuel has you covered. Be sure to check out FanDuel.com/KFNZ. Use that promo code to download the FanDuel app today and get started. FanDuel is an official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after free. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Can help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Moms and dads, do you wish you could know where your kids' shoes are at all times? Now you can with Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers, Find My Skechers. There's a clever hidden AirTag compartment under the shoe's insole. It's sleek, secure, and your child can't feel or see it. Then you can check where your kids' shoes are on the Find My app. Plus, they're available for boys and girls. Get Find My Skechers at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever kids' shoes are sold. Apple AirTags sold separately.
Febreze. It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades. Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Legendary doesn't happen by chance. It happens because it's what BetMGM does. Sign up for BetMGM and check out all the exciting new ways you can make this pro football season unforgettable. Shoot your shot with same-game parlays, call your plays like a pro with live betting, or bet on a market you didn't know existed thanks to BetMGM Originals. You'll be on the edge of your seat from the very first snap, no matter what type of fan you are. Earn BetMGM rewards points on every bet. Take advantage of football offers found nowhere else, like a second chance on a first touchdown bet, and keep an eye out for rewards dropping in your account throughout the season. Never settle for the ordinary. Sign up today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. Specific promotional offers are not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise. Got trouble headed out of downtown 70 westbound, just past Minnesota Avenue. The left lane is blocked. And past Overland Park, let's see, near Olathe. 2-car crash, 35 northbound at 119th in the 2 right lanes. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center in Val, 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Hey, it's Rashi Rice from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back into the show. We'll get back to our main topic here coming up in just a bit. If you want to see the video from me yesterday at the Royals game on the Kiss Cam, it is now available on our social media page. I want to give you guys my random bold prediction for the National Football League. I think that Tyreek Hill is getting traded at the deadline. If you want me to look ahead just a little bit and to give you my big NFL prediction, I think that Tyreek Hill is getting traded in a couple of months. It just, you can feel the way that it is turning. The Miami Dolphins will save $36 million by cutting him at the end of this season. $36 million. At the end of this season, so for next year, if he stays on the Dolphins, he will have a $51 million cap hit at 32 years old with a base salary of $29 million. So from a financial standpoint, the Dolphins need to make a decision this offseason about what they want to do with Tyreek Hill. If you follow the same school of thought that Rob and I follow, that the Dolphins are not going to be good this season, I don't know what it looks like for Tyreek Hill on back-to-back seasons for a team that ain't going nowhere, especially when you're used to either A, putting up massive numbers that put you in the All-Pro Hall of Fame conversation, or you started your career in Kansas City where you pretty routinely competed for championships. What does it look like in Week 7 when the Dolphins are 2-5 and don't really have a chance of doing anything? And again, you got a $51 million cap hit that's hanging over your head. I think it's very, very clear what we're talking about here. I think it's very, very clear. I don't know if this is a bold prediction. This is just me trying to look into the future just a little bit. I think that Tyreek Hill is going to get traded in October. I think there's going to be some team that feels like they need something over the top. They will give the Dolphins something a little bit better than what they could potentially get in the NFL draft. Or if he just walks away in free agency, I think that Tyreek is not going to be playing for the Dolphins for too much longer.
I mean, I'm not saying that that's not an interesting conversation, but based on how you and I both feel the Dolphins going to be this year, does that count as bold? Like, we both think the Dolphins might be real bad. Like, I think the Dolphins and Saints will be fighting down the stretch to be in the conversation for Nussmeier next year. I guess maybe they can get out from under Tua, but it feels like it's about to blow in Miami. There's OBJ, there's Jalen Ramsey, there's Tyreek Hill. There's a lot of big personalities and a coach that I don't think can handle big personalities, and it just feels like it's on the brink of a disaster. If they trade their expensive 30-plus-year-old wideout just to get picks back, is that really all that bold to see that coming? Like, maybe if he's outright cut, I'll call it bold, but getting a fifth-round pick back to send him to the, I'm trying to name a team in the NFC, to send him to the Niners at the deadline just doesn't feel like a whoa type of move anymore. I think the first Tyreek Hill trade was a whoa one. The next one won't be.
Yeah, for sure. But I guess at least looking at it, I mean, I know that last year was a down year for Tyreek Hill, But, I mean, if there is a team that is a playoff contender, borderline Super Bowl contending team, I mean, that's going to be a big move. Now, I would say one of the teams that could potentially use Tyreek the most, I don't think the Dolphins are trading him to Buffalo, for example. But there's going to be a team that is wide receiver needy that, I mean, Tyreek last year in a down year for Tyreek had 81 catches for 959 yards and 6 touchdowns last season. Like, that's a down year for Tyreek Hill. That's a good player to add, I would say. That's a really good player to add, and that's usually not the kind of players that are available at the deadline. Usually, I would say it's a guy like DeAndre Hopkins last season, a guy with the name, a guy who is clearly past his prime, a guy that you don't have to spend a lot of money to go acquire, a guy that doesn't take a significant draft pick for you to go get, and also, like, doesn't really shift the balance of anything. Like, I know he was a nice name and it was good to have, but I mean, like, the Chiefs were not more of a contender because they went out and got DeAndre Hopkins last year. The feeling, if Tyreek is still anywhere close to the player that he was 2 years ago, or if he's just what he was last year, a guy that can catch 1,000 yards, I think that's a pretty decent move for a team if all you got to do is give up a 4th or a 5th round pick and a little bit of cap space for the rest of the year.
Let me ask you this, though, because, and we won't know the answer until football starts, but a guy whose whole game is speed, and he's let's say 5'10". I don't have his, measurables in front of me. Let's say he's 5'10". A guy who's 5'10's whole game is built on speed. The first time he had a down year was at 30 years old. He ain't getting younger. He ain't getting faster. Like, is it possible that the trend line is ticking in the wrong direction for Tyreek Hill? You're right. He could still be a more valuable player than a DeAndre Hopkins type at the deadline. I agree with that. But it ain't like he's the Christian McCaffrey move, a guy in his prime. He's 31. In theory, 31-year-olds are slower than 21-year-olds, and he just came off one of his worst seasons as a pro. That feels like a receiver who could be in regression, and that would drive the price down for potential trade for him at the deadline.
Yeah, no, I mean, that certainly makes a lot of sense. I would say just kind of depends on what quarterback they get. I mean, last year, just Tua was not good last season. Tua had 19 touchdown passes last year. So Tua just wasn't that guy. They had issues last year at the quarterback position. I mean, Tua only played in 11 games. Excuse me. If you put Tyreek with one of the top 12 quarterbacks in the league, I still think he's a dangerous player that can be a game changer. For example, I know you guys will get on me for this. If he went to the Chargers, that would be something like, oh, interesting. Like, you're going to have Ladd McConkey on one side, you're going to put Tyreek Hill on the other side. So it's obviously early in the season, just giving you a little bit of a prediction to look ahead. But I think this Dolphins thing is very clearly headed for a divorce. That's just how it feels. They didn't make him a captain this year. Him and Tua are still talking about issues that they had this offseason. If you and I don't think the Dolphins are going to be very good this year, that are you going to keep a player who asked to be traded at the end of the season, you have to make a decision on in February anyway? Is it in your best interest to have that player around in November and December if your team's not going anywhere? I could just see a team being willing to make a trade for Tyreek Hill. So let's go back to what we were talking about before the break. So out of the last 10 years of AFC and NFC championship teams, in 9 of those seasons, at least one of the teams the following year just outright missed the postseason. So last year, I guess 2 years ago, obviously this season hasn't happened, so we don't know which one of those 4 teams. So a couple of years ago, Chiefs, Ravens, Lions, and Niners. The San Francisco 49ers missed the playoffs last year. Now you have a new crop of teams. You have the Chiefs and the Bills, and in the NFC was the Eagles and the Commanders. Those were the 4 teams left standing to see who could go to the Super Bowl. History tells you that one of those teams is just going to miss the playoffs this year for whatever reason. Injury, turnover, whatever it can be. Schedule's more difficult, hard luck. One of those teams is going to miss the postseason. The overwhelming sentiment is the Commanders. I'm just not a believer in the Commanders. I've been telling you guys this all season. Like, I would take the under on the Commanders. The Commanders last year only beat one team that went to the postseason in the regular season. It was the Eagles. And in that game, Jalen Hurts left with an injury. They won one game on a Hail Mary last year. Everything just kind of came together perfectly. I think the Commanders are prime for regression this year. If you had to pick, let's say you remove the Commanders from this conversation, and I tell you either Kansas City, Buffalo, or Philadelphia, I tell you one of those teams misses the postseason, which team would you predict?
I mean, you're right. The answer is Washington. I think the next team most likely to miss after Washington is probably the Bills, right? Like, I feel like the Bills are a team, and I like Josh Allen. You like Josh Allen. He won the MVP last year. Josh Allen's a good quarterback. Josh Allen on the Bills offseason feels like the Chiefs offseason. They didn't get any better, and it feels like a lot of them making the postseason is propped up by their division is real bad. But if you were to ask me to rank, most likely to least likely to make the playoffs based on those four teams, we agree on the Commanders just because they were over their skis last year, the whole deal. I then think it's Buffalo, Philly, Kansas City, if you were to rank it after that, because maybe just the one is the Commanders, and that fits the stat. We check the box, move to the next. But if it's going to be multiple, I think the Bills are the second team out of that group.
Yeah, that's interesting you would say that, just because I would say that out of those three teams, if I'm ranking the likelihood of them winning their division, I would say it's Buffalo, just because I think their division is easier than Kansas City. I would then go Kansas City 2, and then I would go Philadelphia 3.
You have Philly as the least likely, though, just to win their division. You don't like the Commanders, you don't like the Cowboys, and no one likes the Giants.
No, I'm not disliking the Eagles. I'm just saying is, now, I know they won the Super Bowl last year. Just a year ago, we got a long Seth Wickersham story about how their coach and their quarterback didn't like each other. You remember that? They limped to the playoffs just a year ago. They limped to the playoffs. They lost in the first round to Tampa Bay. It was a big story about how this guy doesn't like this guy and this guy doesn't communicate well with this guy. We were talking about A.J. Brown, who was reading books on the sideline. I know that winning cures all. It wasn't that long ago that we did not feel this way about the Philadelphia Eagles. And I would say more so than maybe those other teams that we're talking about. I think Kansas City's fine if Travis Kelce gets injured, for example. Knock on wood. I think they're fine. I think the Ravens are fine if Zay Flowers misses some time. Of all of those teams, the most important player is Saquon Barkley. I don't know how Philadelphia works if Saquon isn't the best running back in the National Football League. Because 2 years ago when they had Miles Sanders, they went to the Super Bowl. They then made a decision to move on from Miles Sanders. They didn't nearly have as potent of a running game. Philadelphia drastically regressed. What if Saquon Barkley just kind of turns back to what he was with the Giants or gets injured this season? There's a lot of turnover at running back. What if Saquon Barkley doesn't run for 2,000 yards and he runs for 1,100 yards this season? Are they still the most dynamic offense? They also lost some pieces on defense. Now, I'm not here telling you I'm predicting the Eagles to miss the playoffs, but if there's any division that's random out of those three, the AFC West is not random. The AFC East is not random. The NFC East is completely random and has been random now for the last 20 years.
I would say this. It's an interesting conversation. I feel like you explain why I think the Eagles wouldn't fall off with a Saquon injury or something, without in your conversation there. They were a playoff team with DeAndre Swift. Were they the best? No. But they were in the playoffs with DeAndre Swift. They were in the playoffs with Miles Sanders. Like, it wasn't just, oh, man, Miles Sanders is unbelievable. You can't stop Miles Sanders. Watch out for Miles Sanders. Nope. They were just fine. Nick Sirianni, for all the things people dislike about him, and I get why people dislike him, a year ago, I literally bet on FanDuel for him to be the first coach fired. I was wrong. Very wrong. Nick Sirianni's a consistent playoff guy. Like, just almost every year. He's in the playoffs. Nick Sirianni wins. And I would say when Saquon Barkley gets hurt in that world, they still have two elite wide receivers and a quarterback that we consider, I'll be generous, top 10. Maybe top 5, maybe top 7. We still think he's a top 10 quarterback with maybe the best receiving core in the league, and Nick Sirianni's a good coach. Like, even if Saquon got hurt, I still think the Eagles would find a way to make the playoffs. I don't think they'd find a way back to the conference championship game, but I think they'd find a way to make it work because they have enough of the other ingredients. With the Bills, if that defense regresses, like let's just say the defense regresses, or let's say James Cook isn't the same way he was last year. Can you name a wide receiver on their team outside of Shakur? Can you name anyone in that secondary other than DeMar Hamlin? And I know Jordan Poyer's back. Like, they got massive questions everywhere. It's just they have Superman at quarterback. Or I guess you don't want to call him Superman because it's Patrick Mahomes. They got whatever. They got
a really good quarterback.
They got Green Lantern, whatever the guy. But if he's not MVP good, man, the pieces around Josh Allen could fall apart fast. I think why he's viewed as a playoff team, no doubt, is the division, but maybe the division's spicier than we think. People love the Patriots on paper. Betting sites love the Patriots. Maybe there's something there.
I want to do an impromptu power ranking, and I want to get your thoughts on it. How would we rank the rivals currently for the Kansas City Chiefs? And I'm curious where you would put the Chargers. Because I think there is a dislike of the Chargers, but I'm starting to feel like the dislike for the Chargers is much more in how the media feels about the Chargers, more so than you guys hate them. Like, you guys hate the Raiders. You hate the Broncos. I think you guys hate the hype surrounding the Chargers every single year, and that's what kind of turns you off. I think we would agree right now, number one is Buffalo, right? Buffalo is their biggest rival today. Who is the team that you think who is the team?
I think Cincinnati's one. Maybe I am falling for an internet trap. I think right now fans hate the Bengals more than they hate the Bills. I think they just own the Bills so much that they don't like them for football reasons, but like pure dislike, rivalry, hate. I think when Jamar Chase goes in the NFL top 100 and says he won't say Patrick Mahomes' name, that gets the fan base way more riled up than, hey, Josh Allen's going to have a good season. I think the Bengals are 1 and the Bills are 2 right now.
Yeah, the reason I would argue that Buffalo is number 1 is this. Their quarterback just won MVP. There's starting to be a growing sentiment that their quarterback is better than your starting quarterback. They play really good, really close competitive games. And I don't think that any Chiefs fan would admit this publicly. But I think most Chiefs fans know eventually Buffalo beats you. I don't know when they beat you or how long it takes them to do it, but eventually Buffalo wins in the AFC Championship game. That's kind of the history of the National Football League. The Cowboys kept beating the San Francisco 49ers. Eventually, Steve Young and the Niners beat the Cowboys. They went on to win their 1 Super Bowl, right? Peyton Manning dominated by Tom Brady for most of our childhood. Eventually, Peyton Manning beat the New England Patriots. Now, they played 9 times when he was in Indianapolis, and he had a 3-6 record against them. But eventually, you keep giving Peyton Manning enough chances in the postseason, he will eventually walk through that door and figure out a way to beat you. I don't think most Chiefs fans would admit it, but at some point, I don't know when it is, I do think Buffalo beats Kansas City in a postseason game, just the law of averages. The games are so close. They're coin flip games. If you keep flipping a coin enough, if you keep calling heads, eventually it lands on heads, right? So I would say that Buffalo's number 1. You think that Cincy's still 2? Because I think for the most part, Chiefs fans are kind of off Cincy.
If we're gonna where we're gonna disagree is you have Cincy at 2. That's fine. I think Cincy is still 1. So if we're gonna say, hey, let's just take the law of averages, I don't think Cincy can be any lower than 2. I think Cincy still bothers Chiefs fans. I think it's the one that got away, whatever the feeling. Like, we made the Patriots analogy. The Patriots and Colts are rivals because on the field. But I bet if we went up and asked Patriot fans, hey, who do you hate more, the Colts or the annoying Jets who stole one from you? They would all say the Jets. That's how I think Chiefs fans view the Bengals. They were brash, they were loud, and they came into your stadium and they took one from you. And they took one where you were up 21-3, and you felt like it's a party, we're going to LA, it's going to be a coronation, and all of a sudden you look up and Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase have stolen one from you. Then they started calling it Burrowhead. And I think the Bengals, if you don't have them at 1, that's fine. You cannot have them lower than 2. Fans don't like the Bengals.
Okay, I'm willing to entertain the possibility that Cincinnati is a 2. I'm willing to entertain it. Are we putting Baltimore at 3? Or do you think there's another team that you would consider more of a rival to the Chiefs than Baltimore? Because Baltimore feels like we're putting the Raiders ahead of them. Like, when was the last significant game that the Chiefs and the Raiders have played?
Have they played one in the last 10 years? Like, I can't. Have they played one since Andy Reid was the head coach of the Chiefs?
Where would you put the Eagles?
I think Eagles are either 3 or 4. I just think Ravens are farther down than you think. I think the Broncos, maybe not right now. Maybe Broncos are 5 now. Maybe it goes Bills, Bengals, Ravens, Eagles, Broncos for now.
I think Bo Nix has to win one for that to start.
Yeah, but I think the offseason hype machine surrounds them a little bit, and if they get one, you're going to see the Broncos rivalry look like the 90s in Kansas City again because they are the darling of the AFC West. And they did. I know they beat the Chiefs last year in the game that didn't count, like week 18. But they came as close to winning as you can in Arrowhead. So I think the Broncos are in the top 5, and I think the Eagles are 4.
Yeah, but I'm sitting here and I'm going back. I know I'm going back on you a little bit. Like, the reason I think that Chiefs fans kind of hate Cincy in that way is obviously it's the trash talk, right? It's the Burrowhead. It's the coming in here. Like, I keep seeing a lot of people saying we respect Buffalo. A major reason of why this rivalry hasn't really gone past that point is one side wins all the time. The reason that Chiefs fans feel the way that they feel about Cincinnati is they're the only team in the AFC that has anything over the Chiefs. Now, it's a small thing over the Chiefs compared to everybody else, but you can look at Josh Allen and say, you've never beat Kansas City when it matters. You can look at Lamar and say that. You can look at Justin Herbert. You can look at every other quarterback currently in the AFC and say, in January, when it matters most, our team has always beat your team. Kind of the reason you cannot say that to Joe Burrow. He's done it before in your building. You went to Arrowhead with the expectation of seeing the confetti dropped on you, and you saw it dropped on you for another person and another player. But from a team perspective, is anybody worried about Cincinnati? Like, if we opened the text line right now and said, who's the 4th most dangerous team in the AFC? So it's Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore, however you want to kind of rank those other 2 teams. Who's putting Cincinnati at 4 on that list? I wouldn't put Cincinnati on 4. I don't look at them as being the 4th best team. So if we're not talking about them being a team that you're afraid of to stop you from getting to the goal ultimately that we're all discussing here, how real is that rivalry at this point?
I'd say this, though. I don't think sports rivalries and sports hate is built on logic and reason. I think it's built on feelings and emotions. And you're right. No one views the Bengals as an on-field threat to the Chiefs in 2025. And probably not in 2026 either with the way their owner works things. But Chiefs fans feel an emotion about the Bengals because of one day. They don't feel that emotion because of the Bills. They don't care that they lost in November and December to the Bills. We'll get them back in January, and they always have. Maybe if the 13-second game went the other way, they would feel that way, but it didn't. On the field, they view them as a threat, but it's a respect, and we know, hey, we're going to play good games. We're probably going to get you in the important one. Sports hate and sports rivalry is built on emotion and feeling, not logic and reason. And the Bengals made Chiefs fans feel something. So that's why I have them at 1. And I think the text line is kind of proving my point. There is a hate for the Bengals. It makes no sense, but there is a hate for the Bengals.
Are the Chargers in this top 5?
No. They don't have fans. Who are the Chiefs fans going to jaw with about the Chargers?
I wish I had a good counter. I don't have a good counter.
The chair next to you is the same as LA. No one cares about the Chargers over there.
I can't tell you that you're wrong. So you're telling me if we did top 5 rivals right now to the Chiefs, you don't think that Chiefs fans will put the Chargers in there?
No.
Even though they are a team that won double digits in their division and plays them, I would say pretty close.
They wouldn't view them as a threat. No chance. None. There are going to be more Chargers fans in Sao Paulo than would be in L.A.
How would you round out the rest of the top 5? Buffalo 1, Cincy 2, Baltimore or Philly at 3?
Philly. Again, it's that feelings thing. They took something from you. And by the way, they embarrassed you when they took it from you. The Bengals stole a Super Bowl from you, but it was like...
I'm being serious. I don't understand how in 2025 you could dislike Cincinnati more than you could dislike Philadelphia. I don't understand that.
I think they are...
I understand the Burrowhead thing. I mean, they were up... The Eagles danced on your grave in front of everybody. I'm just saying, if we are comparing what's worse, losing in the AFC Championship game, nobody really outside of Kansas City, no. You won't see highlights of that game. You will see highlights for the rest of your life of that Super Bowl. For the rest of your life, you will see it. I don't understand in 2025 disliking the Bengals more than disliking the Eagles. Not with what they did. If they had just beat you 27-24, I wouldn't have this opinion. That ain't what happened, man.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
I'm being quite honest. That was the worst loss of Patrick Mahomes' career. I know you can say the Tampa Bay, but the one against Tampa Bay, it just always had a big asterisk to it. Like, oh, man, it's not that bad. I mean, you played well. I mean, you did your best. Ain't nobody patting the Chiefs on the head for their effort against the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm saying is that's the worst loss that they have. It happened in the Super Bowl, and you're telling me that you still feel a way about a loss that happened 3 years ago, and since then you've won 2 Super Bowls and been to 3 of them? I don't understand that in 2025.
I think it's because now maybe the text line will switch. I have already hit a request right now in for Elliott Shore Parks, Chiefs fans' favorite media personality in Philadelphia. Once he comes on the show, but I think the average Bengals fan talks a lot spicier about a game that has disappeared from most fans' mind. Where the Eagles fans, it's like I don't see you that often. You're in a different division, whatever. I mean, there's a little Andy and the Philadelphia connection, the Kelsey connection. Like I think they kind of let it go. Where I don't know what it is, man. Cincinnati just sticks in Chiefs fans' craw.
We can keep talking about this. 913-586-7965 was wondering if the Chargers would rank in your top 5 power rankings of teams that you dislike the most. They have been a pretty competitive team. They've played good games against the Chiefs. You guys do hate the fact that every year somebody like Kyle Hurd picks them to win the division. This is going to be their year. But Rob is telling me that they don't even register in the top 5 of teams that you guys dislike the most. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, a show that prides itself on getting it right.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
Ring the bell. We've done it again. Golden Oak Lending has lowered rates to 4.875 fixed. Lower your monthly payment, get cash out, pay off credit cards, and best of all, make no mortgage payments for 2 months. Lock in this incredible 4.875 rate and get your cash in as little as 14 days. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
5.81 APR, FHA, 15-year, 20% equity qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Save up to $4,500 with Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter, thanks to limited time tax credits and special incentives on energy-efficient HVAC systems. But don't wait. Those federal tax credits expire after December. Upgrade your heating and cooling system, and you can enjoy lower energy bills and year-round comfort. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Call 913-888-4262 for your free consultation. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated. Because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life, and fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At Heartland Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Missouri, get ready. The wait is almost over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State. And you can sign up today. New Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets when we launch on December 1st. Download now and place a $5 bet when we go live. DraftKings Sportsbook brings everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code 965 to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. That's promo code 965 in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com. DraftKings.com/promos.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW-1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Legendary doesn't happen by chance. It happens because it's what BetMGM does. Sign up for BetMGM and check out all the exciting new ways you can make this pro football season unforgettable. Shoot your shot with same-game parlays, call your plays like a pro with live betting, or bet on a market you didn't know existed thanks to BetMGM Originals. You'll be on the edge of your seat from the very first snap, no matter what type of fan you are. Earn BetMGM rewards points on every bet. Take advantage of football offers found nowhere else, like a second chance on a first touchdown bet, and keep an eye out for rewards dropping in your account throughout the season. Never settle for the ordinary. Sign up today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. Specific promotional offers are not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Salvation Army of KC. We've got Raytown. That wreck's still there, 435 southbound past 350 highway. Right lane blocked. It is in the clearing stages, though. And then a stall, 70 eastbound as you approach, 635. Right lane blocked there from the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center. I'm Val, 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Trent McDuffie from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back into the show. Coming up at the top of the hour, we will talk about the video of me that is circulating. I was on the Kiss Cam yesterday, and it didn't go well. That's all I can say. I'll tell you the story coming up at 5 o'clock. It did not go well for me. In fact, it went the exact opposite that you would want the Kiss Cam to go. The exact opposite. There is an expectation when they put you on there, and when they cut away from you, if people are laughing and going, oh, it didn't go well for you. And that happened to me. I didn't score, and neither did the Royals. Just to be honest with you. I mean, both of us were bad on offense yesterday. We'll talk about that coming up in just a bit. So I'm asking you guys if the Chargers are in your top 5 teams that you dislike. I only asked that question because I would say that every year we have certain traditions here in Kansas City. The lighting of the Plaza Light Ceremony, the Plaza Art Fair, when the Big 12 tournament comes to town. There are some things that we do every single year as a community. They matter. In June, you guys will find the one person that picks the Chargers. See, told you. The media always does this. Wait, it's like 2 people that picked them. Why are we doing this? But this year, I will say, you guys have come by this honestly because it has been a lot more people than normal. I mean, I've seen a lot of people picking either the Chargers or the Broncos to win the division. So this year, I actually don't think you guys are crazy. Sometimes I think you're crazy. Sometimes I think you're the girl that just wants everybody to think that you're pretty. Like, wait, yes, you are. Why do you need everybody to tell you that? But I think you guys will come by that honestly this year. I was wondering if the Chargers even rate for you guys as a team that you don't like. And the text line is telling me right now that you guys don't got no issues with them. Like, none. You have 0 issues with them. So, 913-586-7965. This is a text that we just got. I would rate it Buffalo 1, Baltimore 2, Denver 3, Cincinnati 4, Raiders 5. I do think that's probably the answer. I just don't know if they're in the right order. But I do think, like, if you go to Arrowhead next Sunday and you walk around and you ask average Chiefs fans to rank from 1 to 5 the teams that they hate the most, I do think that these 5 are on the board, maybe just not in the order I would put it in.
I mean, I guess that's the 5. I think it depends on who you'd ask at Arrowhead. I don't think the new, younger generation Chiefs fans feel any dislike for the Raiders. I think they hear stories from the Dana and Hughes types. They hear stories from Mitch Holtis. They hear stories from, we do this every year on this show. We can get former Chiefs players talk about hate Raider week and hating the Raiders, not their moms and their dads. How much do we hate the Raiders? Da-da-da. But I don't think the average 18 to 40-year-old in Kansas City has any actual hate for the Raiders. They just hear about it from their elders, and they feel like, oh, well, they hate them, so I will too. But that group, that era, actually hates Philadelphia. I don't know they actually hate the Raiders. I just think they've been told you have to. But the Raiders have done nothing to warrant being hated by 18 to 35-year-old Chiefs fans. They just haven't.
I got a toss-up question to ask you. You ready for this toss-up?
I'm ready.
If you are starting a team, would you rather have Harbaugh and Patrick Mahomes or Andy Reid and Herbert?
Andy Reid and Herbert.
You didn't really hesitate.
I think Andy Reid is the best. I think he might be the best coach of all time.
This is why I'm on the other side. I'm sorry to cut you off. This is why I'm on the other side. I don't think the gap between Harbaugh and Reid is nearly as bad as the gap between Mahomes and Herbert. So if you're telling me, like, out of these 4 options, which one would I take with the number 1 overall pick? I would take Patrick Mahomes. I would take the best quarterback in the National Football League. And then I'd rank it Reid, Harbaugh, and a pretty big gap between Herbert. Yeah, I think I'd rather have Mahomes and Harbaugh if I'm starting a team. I still have who I think is one of the 5 best coaches in the league. I know he doesn't have the accolades for it, but I think if you were talking X's and O's, accomplishment across the sport, I think that Harbaugh is one of the 5 best coaches in the league. And you're going to give me the best quarterback? I think I got a chance at having a much more stable foundation than having Reid and Justin Herbert. That's who I would pick.
I actually don't think there's a wrong pick here. Like, I think either team is going to be good because I think the coaches are similar. But man, Andy Reid might be the best to ever have done this. I think he's the best in the league now. And I've seen Andy Reid go to a Super Bowl with Donovan McNabb. I think Justin Herbert is a more talented quarterback than Donovan McNabb. I've seen Andy Reid go to the playoffs consistently with Alex Smith. And Alex Smith is a fine quarterback. He should not have been a multiple-time division champ, playoff game type of guy. That's just Andy Reid got the best out of him. Andy Reid went to the postseason with Michael Vick. This isn't Michael Vick from Atlanta where he was on the video game. This is post-jail Michael Vick. He went to the postseason. Like, Andy Reid is freak show good at coaching. I think you're underselling the gap between he and Harbaugh. And that's no disrespect to Harbaugh. Andy Reid is incredible. And I think if Mahomes got hurt, knock on wood, and they had to have Minshew for 4 games, I think Andy Reid might go 3-1 in those games just because he's that good of an NFL football coach.
No, I don't disagree with you. And maybe I'm putting a lot of stock into what we've seen Harbaugh do at other levels and not in the National Football League, even though he took a team led by Colin Kaepernick to the Super Bowl. I mean, Stanford was not a great football program. He built Stanford up in a very short period of time. Michigan, I would say that there is a pretty decent gap between them and Ohio State, and he covered that gap in a very short period of time to where they have now beat Ohio State, I believe, 5 consecutive seasons they have beat them, and they won a national championship. I mean, if you want to talk about one of the coaches that helped shift the balance from the South back towards the Big Ten, Harbaugh is definitely in that conversation, and he's also taken a team to Super Bowl. So if you got you got Reid as the best coach in the National Football League, I think that's the correct answer. There's not too many other guys, and you just know how I feel about Herbert in this situation. Let me know what you guys would pick. 913-586-7965. This toss-up question just popped in my mind. Would you rather have a team that's led by Harbaugh and Mahomes or Reid and Herbert? Let me know what you guys think at the top of the hour. We'll also get back to the Royals. I will tell you guys the story of me on the Kiss Cam. Things did not go well for your boy. That's all I can say. We'll do all that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison, brought to you by DM Entry Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 3-time Super Bowl champion, Patrick Mahomes. Join CDOT every Tuesday at 3:15, exclusively on 96.5 The Fan. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Park and Go. Got a new problem, Blue Springs. That's a stall, 70 westbound past 7 Highway. In the right lane and a crash. 435 northbound just past 87th block in the right lane from the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center. I'm Val, 96.5 The Fan.
Hey folks, I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/private wealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/private wealth. Why not start today?
Sports brought to you by the Salvation Army and registertoring.com.
Make it a tradition. Grab your friends or family and ring bells together for the Salvation Army. Just 2 hours can change lives this holiday season. Sign up today at registertoring.com. That's registertoring.com.
Tonight, expect showers, thunderstorms, and mostly cloudy skies with a low of 55.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples. That was easy.
Want to see the 2015 World Champion Royals swing it again? Come out to Home Run Derby X at Kauffman Stadium for a reunion on September 13th. Eric Hosmer, Mike Moustakis, Alex Gordon, Ben Zobrist, and Lorenzo Cain take their cuts against reps from the Blue Jays and the Mets. Come join the action for a night of massive dingers, slick defense, and target-smashing thrill. You don't want to miss it. Get your tickets now at MLB.com/HRDXKC. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
The wait is finally over. Football season is here, and FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer that you don't want to miss. New customers, you can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, any bet. Bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. Use it how you want. Build your favorite parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style is. Remember, FanDuel has you covered. Be sure to check out FanDuel.com/KFNZ. Use that promo code to download the FanDuel app today and get started. FanDuel is an official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after free. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Can help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Doug. Limu and I always tell you to customize your car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. But now, we want you to feel it. Cue the emu music, Limu.
Save yourself money today. Increase your wealth. Customize and save, we say.
That may have been too much feeling.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
You want to see the ring? Here, I have a picture.
Wow, look at you.
I know, right? Went to Hellsberg and customized the whole thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, I showed them all our inspiration photos, picked the setting, the diamond. It's actually pretty fun. Now for the real hard part, asking her.
Well, congrats, buddy. The ring looks awesome.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Hi there, I'm Charlie. And I'm Carter. Our dad is Rex with Rex Buys KC. If you're thinking about selling a home in Kansas City and don't know where to start, our dad can help.
Sometimes life throws curveballs, like moving for a new job, dealing with a divorce, or inheriting a house you weren't expecting.
Dad doesn't just make offers, he talks with people to help them understand all of their options. No pressure, and it doesn't cost anything to talk with his team.
He's a local home buyer who really knows Kansas City. If selling to him is the right choice, he'll give you a fair cash offer, and you can close on your timeline even in as little as 7 days.
He buys homes in any condition. No need for repairs, no fees, no surprises.
Just an honest, easy process so you feel good about your decision.
Want to talk to him? Call 816-330-6000 or go to rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Park and Go, the best deals on airport parking.
Don't fumble your airport parking. Score big with Park and Go. All covered parking, fast and free shuttles, and open 24/7. For the best deals in airport parking, reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and fan approved.
Listen to K-State versus Army this Saturday on The Fan, AM 610, with pregame at 4 and kickoff at 6. This is your home for K-State athletics. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Thank you so much for listening. It is The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. We got a lot that we need to get into in this 5 o'clock hour. We don't have a lot of time. We are off early today because of the Kansas City Royals. We'll give you a balance of some serious things, also a little bit of fun on your ride home. Let's start with the Royals from an on-the-field perspective, and then I'll tell you guys what happened yesterday at the Royals game as I was in attendance. What the Royals are being asked to do is essentially every night hit a 2-leg parlay. For those of you that gamble, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You need to win. You also need the other teams to lose. Sometimes you got to hit a 3-leg parlay. Now, for those of you that gamble, don't gamble, you do understand this. Getting things right consistently is really, really hard to do. Getting multiple things right on a night-by-night basis is pretty difficult to do. Yesterday, Seattle lost. That's an opening for you. You got a chance to be 1.5 games back in the wild card race. All you got to do is win a home game against the Los Angeles Angels, a game in which you had a lead heading into the 5th inning. You have to figure out a way to scratch across enough runs and win that game. And the Royals lost. Now, there's one way to look at this. If you are thinking, Carrington, you're overreacting, the Royals didn't lose any ground. You are correct. But I think is really important here, to use a football analogy, it's time and score. You did lose something yesterday. You now have fewer games to make up the deficit. Time is now running. You don't have 2-3 months to be able to catch these teams. You have 3 weeks to be able to catch these teams. So every game, every situation matters. And if your opposition is going to leave the door cracked just a little bit, and you're going up against a team like the Angels, you have to be able to walk through. You cannot squander those opportunities. There is still a chance that the Royals can do this. But one of the things in the parlay is you got to take care of your own business and let everything else deal with itself. You can't do anything about Seattle right now. You can in a couple of weeks. You can't do anything right now. But what you can control is winning series, winning games, getting hot. That's what the Rangers are doing. They're on a 5-game winning streak. This is the perfect time to be one of the hot teams in baseball. This is one of the perfect times to be getting right and a team that wins 17 of their last 22 and heads into the postseason as the team that nobody wants to play. That could be you, Kansas City, but you can't do that by having 4 hits and 1 run against the Los Angeles Angels at home. Your offense was lifeless yesterday. So it's one game. Again, I don't want to overreact to one game, but I want you to understand the urgency in which we're talking about. It's not just the 2.5 games back. Yes, that's important. But the clock is ticking. You are losing sand in that hourglass every single day. So you have to win and take care of your own business. You also need a little bit of help. You need Seattle to lose. You need Texas to cool off and not be a hot team. We're talking about 3 teams fighting for 1 spot. Somebody is going to be happy. Somebody's going to make the postseason, and their season is going to advance. Somebody is going home and getting ready for the hot stove season. So from the on-the-field perspective, Yesterday, it wasn't the best night. It wasn't the worst night, but it does matter. Even though you didn't lose a game in the standings per se, you lost time. And the score of the game, yes, it absolutely matters. It also matters how much time is left in the game and how you manage that time. And every single game matters. All of these games feel like football games now at this point. It is the sprint to the finish, and you trying to see if you can be one of the teams that makes the postseason. Right now, Alex Gold and I are not on the same page. I mean, it's friendly beef. I don't want you guys to take this seriously like Alex and I have a real issue with one another. But I don't like people that come on here and are dishonest. I try to give you guys an honest and accurate representation of who I am and how I feel about these things. Alex Gold's dishonesty started last year during the basketball version of this. You guys remember they had me come on their little segment at 1 o'clock on Fridays. I don't know the name of that segment. They had me come on there, and I was like, all right, you know what? I'll do it. I'll help you a little show out. You know, I'm happy to help. So I go on there, and Gold is challenging me to a bet. I'm like, all right, cool, let's do it. Well, I mean, I got too much excuses. And then I'm listening to their show. I'm listening to the midday show, and I'm hearing a lot of disrespect towards the Missouri Tigers from Alex Gold.
But if Missouri was 10th in the country or something, then there would be buzz. They're not. They haven't held up their end of the bargain since the series renewed, and I'm so glad it did. And this one's in Columbia, and I have no doubt it's going to be a great atmosphere, at least to start. We'll see what happens in the second half, because Missouri's been competitive for about 10 minutes.
Well, you want to know what happened in the second half? The students of Missouri ran on the court is what happened. You only run on the court when your team wins. Gold last year kept telling you that this game didn't matter. It had no buzz. Nobody cares about Missouri and Kansas playing each other.
Then you add in the fact, this is not even hating, but like it's the reality that MU hasn't been competitive since they started playing in these games. They just haven't. And so maybe that changes in Columbia on Sunday. I don't think it's going to. This game doesn't have much buzz around it, guys. It just doesn't. Part of it is a lot of people aren't in college basketball mode.
Alex lied to you guys. He's been doing so consistently. I mean, I would be upset too if I went to a school that prides itself on being a basketball university. You know, the rules of basketball are there. James Naismith was the coach. And then I got dusted off by a program that's never been to the Final Four. I'd be a little bit embarrassed as well.
So bounce it in. Missouri will hold it. Bill Self comes down, shakes the hand of the head coach, waves to the rest. Kansas heads, and here comes the students. Folks, Missouri's done it for just the 5th time in school history. Missouri knocks off the #1 team in the nation.
So Alex wasn't at that game. Even though every time I'm on social media, all I see is Alex at sporting events. That's all I see. He's at the Current. He's at Sporting. He's at Chiefs games. He's sitting next to John Sherman at Royals games. He's at the Crown Club. Everywhere I go, sports. Now it's your alma mater playing your rival. Now you just can't make the time. I mean, I'm not in college basketball mood. So, Rob, you can attest to this. My brother, Rob, we ended up getting 4 tickets to the MUKU game. They fell from the sky. Thanks to our friends over at Ticket for Less. They fell from the sky. They gave us 4 tickets. Now I'm here to tell you, I mean, I got hooked up with field passes, so I don't need these tickets. I don't need them.
Humble brag.
I don't need them. I'm going to be down there on the sideline watching the game. But Rob got 2, and then I got 2. And you know what? Just being the friend that I am, just being the guy that just wants to be a good teammate, wants to help others. Hey, Alex, I know you're a big KU fan. You want to go to the game? Here, man, I'll give them to you. I don't need any money, man. I just need to thank you, man. Can you give me an MIZ? I mean, here, I'm giving you these tickets are worth $200 a piece. Can you at least give me an MIZ? Can you give me something? Well, I mean, I wasn't planning on going. What do you mean? What else are you going to be doing? It's Saturday in the fall. Where you going to you going to take pictures at the sunflowers? Where you going to the orchard? Where are you going? What are you doing on Saturday? No, man, I don't want to spend any money in Columbia. You know, it's a long drive and I got to drive back, and football's week 1's on Sunday. All I heard was a lot of excuses. So we called Alex out on the show, and I think Alex is scared to go to Columbia. I think he's afraid. I think he's afraid to wear the garb, to wear the Jayhawk, and walk through that stadium after the Tigers beat the feathers off the Jayhawks on Saturday. I think he's afraid. Alex took offense to that, and that's okay. Like, you're allowed to do whatever you want on your show. I'm not mad at that. But he stooped too far as he tried to bring up a moment that brought me great emotional distress. Rob, can you hit my music again? So for the people that didn't get a chance to hear this story the first time, I want to tell you what happened to me and how I need your emotional support. Oh, my goodness. Rob ain't got the music. Rob also selling me. He's a Jayhawk too. This is what happened. I planned on just having a nice, quiet night at home, reading, meditating. That's what I planned on doing. All of a sudden, I get a call from a friend. Hey, I want to go to this Royals game, but I don't want to go by myself. Will you go with me? Yeah, of course. I'm always willing to support a friend. I'm always willing to be there to help, to reach down and try to help others. So yeah, I go. I drove and I ended up getting us a parking pass because that's the kind of friend that I am. I'm trying to help you so you don't got to spend $30 to park. Now in hindsight, I need to send her a Venmo request for the parking pass. She owes me Venmo. Let me continue on with the story. So we get there, and I see my friend Norma. I love Norma. Hey, Norma, how's it going? Wave at her. She's like, oh, hey, Carrington, how you doing? I'm like, you know what, Norma? You're a good woman. I go to my seat. I got my sunflower seeds in hand. I'm locked in. It's Royals and Angels. It's a playoff-like atmosphere. I mean, the stadium is packed to the brim. It felt like 2014, 2015 in the stadium. You had to be there for the excitement. So I'm sitting there, I'm eating my sunflower seeds, my cracked pepper. All of a sudden, it's a commercial break. I'm starting to get ready for the show. I'm on my phone, I'm reading articles on ESPN. I'm trying to do my best so I can be prepared for you guys, because that's who I do this for. I do it for you guys, the people. All of a sudden, I feel that there's a commotion around us in our section, because that's how many people were there. You can see on this, that's how many people were there. It was a commotion. All of a sudden, I notice that I'm on the kiss cam. I'm like, oh, okay. You can see I pointed the screen. All of a sudden, I look to my left, and my dear friend, I bought this person a Christmas gift last year. We had dinner on my birthday. This is one of my good friends. I look to the left. And I'm like, oh, okay. I go in for the kiss. She shakes her head no and says, you don't belong to me. And then they cut the screen. I'm sitting there. It felt like the end of Sopranos when it fades to black. The packed house starts laughing at me, groan and mocking me. Phone blows up instantly. Was that you? Was that you? Ping, 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 ping. This moment could have been in private. It could have been. But that low-down, dirty scoundrel, Alex Gold, went and tried to find the footage to try to embarrass me this week. We could have just kept this about the football. We could have just kept this about the basketball, but no, Rob, he had to try to take a personal shot at me when I'm at my absolute lowest. The embarrassment. That's the kind of guy that Alex Gold is. No character. We're supposed to be friends. It's supposed to be bigger than this. But no. Cheap tactics from a low, good, dirty scoundrel is who Alex Gold is. He's a scoundrel. You know what? I'm enacting a 1-week ban from Alex Gold on this show. He's not welcome. Cody either. Drew, I'm sorry. You're also banned from the show. 1 week. You're no longer friends of the show. You're under a probationary period as friends of the show for trying to embarrass me in front of all these people. It was already bad enough I got embarrassed at a packed house yesterday, standing room only. And now you got to try to embarrass me on Al Gore's internet? But you know what? Like a phoenix, I will rise from the ashes. I'll get over this with your love and support. Text line 913-586-7965. We can get through this together as a family. That's all I got. That's all I got. I don't got nothing else. You got my back, Rob, on this?
After seeing the video, I got your back. Earlier today, I definitely was like,
wow, that's crazy.
Now I've seen the video. Woof. Woof. I do think it's funny that the text line calls it the Coldplay cam. That outside of that, I have your back. That's just funny.
Okay. I didn't know.
The hand, too, from the person in the video. But no, I got your back. I got your back.
Someone on the text line said, I stand with CDOT. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. JT, you stand with me too, man? Thank you, man. That's all I needed, man. That's all I needed. I just needed you guys' love and support, and I'll get through this.
Don't let JT lie to you that he's on your side. He came in here and he was like, hey, you should have heard the post game last night. I was listening. You know what everyone was talking about? Karen's getting rejected, not the offense. And I was like, yep, we're talking about it right now on the show, man.
All right. You ready to move on? I'm ready to move on if you're ready to move on.
We can move on.
Okay. 1 week ban. That's what we have. 1 week ban for the midday show. I don't even want you to bring them up around me anymore. Don't even talk about the midday show. If you bring the midday show up in the next week, you also are getting blocked.
And we just got the text line back too. Can you imagine we haven't had it for a while and you pop off, you get blocked immediately? Woof.
I'm telling you. Yeah, I know. Watch out. Be careful is what I'm telling you. That's what I would advise you to do. I'd advise you to be careful is what I would advise. All right, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs until we get out of here. So a couple of things. First thing, Rob, you and I looked this up because I was very, very curious. The Chiefs have really unprecedented continuity. They really do. They have unprecedented continuity. You and I looked this up because I was really, really curious. I wanted to see the week 1 depth chart from last year, and I wanted to see the week 1 depth chart from this year. I wanted to see how many players are back this year. The Chiefs have a pretty difficult open to the season. I know we gotta go back and forth about the Chargers, but the Chargers are a good football team. They are a tier 2 AFC football team. They won double-digit games. They got a good quarterback. They got a good head coach. I know you guys like making fun of the Chargers. I also like joining in to make fun of the Chargers. They are a good football team that is capable of beating the Chiefs at a neutral site. They play Philadelphia next week in the home opener. They go on the road and play the Giants, who could possibly have the best defensive line in the National Football League this year. And they play the Ravens to round out the month. The Chiefs have one of the more difficult schedules, I would say, of any team in the first month of the season. So what is really important to me is getting off to a good start and not putting yourself behind the 8 ball, getting off to a 3-1, possibly 4-0 start, and playing with great momentum. If you end up doing that, that could give you a leg up in the division, beating a team like the Chargers. It could give you a leg up in the tiebreaker race with the win over the Baltimore Ravens. It is a really important stretch to get things going when you think about it. So I looked this up because I was curious. So out of the 22 starters from last year, these are the guys not back this season or not number 1 on the depth chart at their position. Joe Thuney, you guys know what happened. They traded Joe Thuney to the Chicago Bears. But if you want to be fair, the Chiefs are probably better at left tackle heading into this season than they were last year. Kingsley was at left tackle to kick off the season. That experiment went terribly wrong for the Kansas City Chiefs. And then they went out and spent a first-round pick and got Josh Simmons. And now they moved Kingsley to the inside. Now he plays left guard. Carson Steele was on their depth chart as a starter last year. Now he was at fullback. Was he technically a starter? He is on the roster, but not on the 53-man roster. Justin Reed. But if there is any position group that the Chiefs, I think, are able to take on attrition and absorb a loss, I would say it's safety. They've done a really good job of preparing for no more Justin Reed. Now, you can't replace his veteran leadership. You can't replace his experience. But if there's one thing they got, it's a lot of young bodies in that safety room, and somebody will emerge as a starter for the Chiefs, especially in this defense where Spags gives you a lot of freedom to fly around and make plays. So, no Thuney, no Carson Steele, no Justin Reed, and you also lost Turk Wharton. If that's all you lost on your team, I think you're in a really, really good spot. And most of these moves, you have, I would say, either replaced them or made a one-to-one swap. Sure, you lost Justin Reed, but you feel really good about the safety room. Yes, you don't have Tershawn Wharton on this team anymore. You also didn't have Charles Omenihu in week 1 of last season in the NFL. So if you kind of swap out Tershawn Wharton, and now you swap him out with Charles Omenihu, Carson Steele. Okay, I mean, you now have Kareem Hunt, and now you have a guy in Brashard Smith that you think can be that Jet McKinnon, Samaje Perine type. Now, there's no replacing Joe Thuney, but we've kind of known that from the very, very beginning. The Chiefs are taking the gamble that being more secure at left tackle than they were last year, moving Kingsley to the inside where now he has a little bit more help. He's got the help on the left of him. He's got the help on the right side of him. They are coming up with they can be better as a sum of all their parts on the offensive line. Let's see how it plays. But we're talking about they've lost just 2 impact players on defense over the last calendar year. That's unprecedented retention rates. And this is a team that I expect to be able to hit the ground running. And this is just, you're not relearning anything. This is just a continuation of last season with so many pieces. The quarterback is back. The running back room's the same. The wide receiver. This is largely the same team as last year, which could be bad for some teams. But if you won 15 games last year and you were the best team in the AFC, that's a really good thing to have that level of continuity. So I'm expecting the Chiefs to get off to a good start. I'm expecting them to get off to a fast start. There's no reason for this team to start slow, regardless of what the schedule looks like, because you were just simply carrying over so much of what you did last season.
In a sport that is absolutely 100% designed for attrition in free agency, the fact that Chiefs have those numbers going for them is, I feel like unprecedented, even a big enough word yet. It's like we have not seen anything like this. And for a stretch of difficulty the Chiefs had at the beginning of the season, to have the same group back is incredible. Now, I would say there's a gift and a curse to this. The gift is everything you just laid out. That is 100% continuity is king. The curse is, we all know in the NFL, if you ain't getting better, you're getting passed by someone. By staying the same, did the Chiefs get better? Did the other teams, if the Chiefs are staying the same, do enough to get better and get past them? That will be the question in 2025. I know the Eagles are the champs, but the Chiefs are the biggest question that the league will face. I think continuity is king. I think the fact that they are solid and they have the same core, the same group back is a winning formula. But we know what the national media types are going to say if they get passed by a Ravens or a Bills. It's that they didn't do enough to get better. That will be the billion-dollar question that we have to monitor throughout the NFL season.
I don't say this to diminish Joe Thuney in any way. I'm really not. Because someone said you also got to talk a little bit more about Thuney, but I understand if you're not worried about that. If the biggest loss on your team is at left guard, you had a great offseason. If that's the biggest change from your team is the left guard, and you feel like you are comparable to where you were last season or improved from last season, their wide receiver room is better than it was the one that played in the Super Bowl. Their defensive line, you think, is better than the one that played in the Super Bowl. If you're telling me that the only loss that you're really worried about is at left guard, I would say count your blessings. There are other teams that had way more significant turnover on their roster or have to figure it out at a much more important position than interior offensive line. And that's not to diminish Joe Thuney at all. I think he was their best offensive lineman last year. You think Creed Humphrey can be a Ring of Honor guy at some point? You just gave Trey Smith $100 million. You just spent a first-round pick on a player that everybody keeps telling me would have been a top 10 pick in the NFL draft if he had been healthy. You're paying Jawan Taylor. He's the second highest paid player on the team behind Patrick Mahomes. I don't want to hear about their offensive line this year. There's no more room for excuses for me. You have first-round pick, second-round pick, second contract. Sure, I'm willing to live with some growing pains on the left side because they're young players, there are not many teams in the league that have spent more resources up front than the Kansas City Chiefs. This should be an offensive line that we are looking at as a positive and one of the better units in the National Football League this year. Tomorrow is game day, even if it's not for the Chiefs. We got the first game of the NFL season between the Cowboys and the Eagles. We'll get to it. We'll also be joined by Danny Parkins tomorrow as we argue about Justin Herbert. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with CDOT. Tune in as Nate Taylor of ESPN joins the show in studio every Friday at 4 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
GimmeTheVin.com.